Hey, what's up, everybody? It is your friendly neighborhood BJJ podcaster, Ralph Esparza, coming to you live right now. It is 5:03 Best Coast time, and look, there's the familiar side of one Brandon McCatherine, not in a suit tonight. Rude. I do like that they put at Brandon McNidja on his social media, so good for him. Very excited. This is an unusual little thing for us. There's a jiu-jitsu overtime, which is the first time we're really seeing this as a thing. So it'll be yours and my first time experience. And it's also a little weird because normally I'm covering all of the EBI, combat jiu-jitsu, et cetera, sort of fun stuff. So today I will be watching from the comfort of my own home, which is both pluses and minuses, because I do enjoy being at home because that means I get to drink, and I never drink when I am on the job over at EBI or combat. So Brandon and TJ are kind of killing time. Normally they have a pre-package that lasts for about a good half hour. So we'll see if we get straight to the action. But today they have some very interesting participants. We'll go over those in just a second. Getting a little bit of buffering stream on my side. Let's see if that clears up. Anyway, excited you guys will be joining us here this afternoon. We'll have friends joining us, I assume, in a little bit. But in the meantime, we await to see how things are going to get kicked off with, I believe it is Frank Rosenthal. I'm just combining them into one entity, I guess. But yes, Ethan Krellinston is also involved in this one. Both of them, Renzo Gracie standouts, very spectacular jiu-jitsu practitioners, but no real matches except for one. And then, I think a special overtime one with Burchak and somebody else. It's going to be a weird day. I don't know how to do this one. I feel like you will see me navigate my thoughts on it as we do it in real time. Still wish Brandon would have wore a jacket. But I guess maybe it's hot because this one's taking place in the Tejas. And so they basically did it in Tejas, I think, because Master Vic is somewhat based out of there. And also, I'm sure, because laws are a little bit looser in the time of COVID. So they don't really give a fuck. So those would be my best guesses if we were to go ahead and make any on this particular occasion. It looks like they're about to throw, but what are they throwing to? They're throwing to the rules, which should be good for both you, myself. It is 1 round minimum, 3 maximum. And there's 2 minutes each half round. That's a ridiculous. Okay, yeah. This looks like pretty standard EBI rulings. So I guess the real question here is, with this only happening like this, you don't have the ability to say, hey, guess what? They're going to wait for overtime. Now we're just directly at it. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of shenanigans come up this evening. I will also be taking your questions. So if you got any, hit me in the comment section. I'm happy to go ahead and walk you through them. Right now, they're still going over the rules between back and spiderweb. The winner is determined by fastest submission or fastest combined escape time. Referee can stop with a tap out, an injury, and other forms of explosion. You're watching UFC Fight Pass. Them's the rules, friends. So yes, this is Master Vic Productions that's putting this one on for you guys. Hopefully you were excited to watch this one because there's a lot of uncertainty on it. As we wait for our friends to go ahead and show up, I am going to take this opportunity to go ahead and go live on the Instagram for a few minutes so that way people know that's what we're doing here today. And I want to go ahead and say thank you to everybody who is watching. And as a reminder, we're going to figure out if we're cheersing people. Hey, what's up, everybody on Instagram? Ralph Esparza, friendly neighborhood BJJ podcaster. We're watching Jiu-Jitsu overtime today. Yesterday, it was all about the UFC. Today, it is about grappling and the Jiu-Jittery that will take place from Texas. So hopefully we'll have some stuff to celebrate over the day. What is up, Tim Clinton? Hope you're enjoying yourself, sir. Good to see you. First round. This is sketchy on the buffering today. I'm going to have to turn off my iPad to make sure that things are going quite nicely. Are you excited about today's festivities? I know I might be. I just got the UFC reminder from the app that just told me this is what's going down, so it's entirely possible they may be ready. Yes, they're ready to go with Frank Rosenthal and Spencer Mume, which is like mummy, but Mume. What's up, Amir? Welcome to the show. Very excited for today's festivities. I'll be walking you through as your master of ceremonies and general talkie guy. I'm just going to spell it wrong just to piss him off. So there we go. Yes, sir. Glad to see you live for Jiu-Jitsu Overtime. So am I. Now, let us take care of this just to make sure that my iPad isn't slowing us down because I'm getting some service breaks. And sometimes you can't tell if it's the UFC Fight Pass or if it is the fact that my I'm not even connected. My generally high-speed internet might be calming it down. So I'm turning that off. Hopefully that quelms some of the slowness, but here we go. We're going into our first match. Very excited for this one. Spencer, he would normally, I would say, in a super fight situation, be a little bit more, not a favorite, but at least I think it would be interesting to see him versus Frank in a regular kind of rule set, not even EBI. Spencer coming in with some nice COVID hair, as one might say, and both of them come over like they want to have a match, and instead we start with the excitingness of a coin flip. Edgy Braj, master of the mats right now, walking him through it. It does look like Spencer is going to get his first opportunity, and we will start in Spiderweb. So let's see how this thing plays out. Eddie's going to come over, put the knee to the back, which is the universal sign for we're about to start. And here we go. Spencer going in very aggressively, but Frank has already gotten up to his knees. He's got a good padlock here. Knees over to the butt. He might be able to circle around. Knowing how Frank works, he just needs to be very calculated about how he finishes his escape here. Spencer doing a great job with this grip, not quite letting go. And you're seeing now, Frank was trying to lift him. You don't want to lift too soon on the arm because then you're a little bit stuck in there. What's up, Carsonic Boom? Good to see you. Cool name. I like that. Does look like Spencer did get a submission, so now Frank's going to have the opportunity to respond in kind. So now they're just trying to figure out what the time was on that. How do you feel about the rule set instead of normal EBI? Not great. This is a game show. Hope that answers your question. I want regular EBI at this point, man. That's where I'm at. Frank Rosenthal coming in with aggression. He's got a good grip over. However, there is a little bit of fight over. Now Frank's just going to try and go over the chin and smash through Spencer's hand, which is taped up as if he is some kind of Michael Jackson. And I have a little bit of a buffering delay. So hold on for this. I can tell you on the frozen screen right there, you got a nice reminder to get us so right, which I like, but just going to wait this one out, my friends. Spencer is starting to push up the hands away from the chin. It does seem like he will be able to get through the right side. However, Frank switches to an armbar on this one and now is going very aggressively like he wants to try and get a bicep slicer. So I don't think he's going to have enough time to work. And Spencer is going to be able to advance in this very first round. Oh, is Frank okay? I hope that he is. I might have to see if I'm going to have to watch this one over on my iPad because of that buffering sucks. So moving on, Spencer in this very first round, very exciting for him. That'll be really cool for him to continue on as this tournament progresses. Big opportunity. I don't even know you can call them upsets at this point. There's no real champion of Jiu-Jitsu Overtime. So we're all just kind of figuring it out as we go. This is also going to get dicey. Normally we have a policy where we cheers those who get finishes. And in overtime, it's kind of like, yeah, it is kind of a finish. So this one goes out to Spencer. Cheers. You did very good on the breaking of the arm. I mean, that's good. Yeah, we should accomplish and give those guys their credit for what they do in the overtime. So cheers to you, sir. Now that is good. Yesterday I had 2 drinks, one of which was okay, the other one not so great. Let me go ahead and bring this to your attention. This one is a Pillow Hazy Double IPA. It is 8% alcohol, 16 fluid ounces, brewed and canned by Highland Park Brewery, Los Angeles, California. And I have to tell you, I am liking the way that starts off. All right. Cheers and beers to everybody here. If you guys are drinking, please feel free to let me know in the comment section what y'all be drinking today. Very excited to see how this one plays out. I would assume that in a little bit we'll see Josh, because as of right now, he's probably going to feel real high in saying that he probably predicted Spencer to advance, because that's what our guys do on this program. They like to take credit for things that they necessarily didn't do. Morgan, good to see you back, my friend. I'm so glad that we didn't insult you too much, that you would be happy to come back this afternoon and watch some jiu-jitsu overtime with us to get to celebrate what the hell this is. None of us really know. We're all experiencing it together. I'm gonna go ahead and put my thing on my iPad again, because this buffering's really bad. I'm very disappointed with this thus far on my UFC app on my television. It's also hard to really overtalk what you're seeing. The replay is basically talking about 45 seconds worth of action. So this is going to be a very heavily rely on your commentators sort of situation, or in our case, me, for this broadcast. So I will do my best to walk you guys through what I am seeing this afternoon. But again, very, very cool to see Spencer, who's been a combat jiu-jitsu vet. He's competed before. Now they're going to show the minute and a half worth of action. Just in case you missed it. What's up, G baby? Good to see you, bud. There's all that and much, much more. So to my friends who are watching all over the place, if you are confused by this one, don't worry. We all are. And we're going to get through it together. I am going to tell you guys this, though. As they kind of replay this over for me, I'm going to switch on over. Let's see if the UFC gives me something better to look at. I mean, if you also look around, the mats are also super empty. Normally, non-COVID time, myself, a number of other photographers are all there taking as many photos as possible. So, you know, I mean, we're in a very different age. This is one of the last events that I got the honor of covering. So there was that. Also, now that I think about it, I didn't see Tom Halpin's name on this one. And they were using his name as a promotional note. I mean, it kind of makes sense because he's a foreigner, and I don't know if we can get him back here in time or how any of that was going to work, but I'm a little disappointed now that I'm thinking about it. I really like Tom. I thought he would have been an interesting reference on this one. You were saying, let's go Duck. I mean, I guess. Austin is a friend of the show as well, so we wish him well. We have lots of friends in this one. So there will be a little bit of Sophie's choice throughout the evening if, things don't get sad enough soon enough. We'll have to create some drama. We'll say things like, Keith forgot how to jiu-jitsu. What's up, Jiu-Jitsu Goth? Good to see you again. Very happy to have you joining us on this wonderful Sunday afternoon, 5:16 Best Coast time. Let's see if there's been any updates on this side. My internet is going super slow. So if that's the case, I might switch on over to, there we go. Let's see if that works. You guys might have to be giving me the results on this one. Let's see how fast the internet works together on this one. Waiting like a good Captain Planet. Planeteer waits for Captain Planet to show up after they do the whole little ring magic trick. That's what I never got. Like, these patient evil villains and all of these kids programs used to make me laugh profusely, where I was like, listen, if I was a Power Ranger villain, I would not wait for that Megazord to come together. I would literally be attacking them as much as I possibly could throughout the entirety of the evening. This is very interesting. And why they always fought him really basically throughout the day. Here's a fun fact. Right now, my UFC Fight Pass is telling me to sign back in again, as if it was not a problem enough. So I will see if I can do two things at one time, which is narrate what's happening, while at the same time keeping you guys... Nope, almost did it. Nope. Anyway, keep me up to date on anything that's happening on your side, because I want to make sure I'm not missing any of the action. And I will go ahead and put in the next names. I would put in Duck, but we're just going to have to miss that part. Eek. Let me know if I'm missing anything, because I want to know. You didn't expect you were going to be put to work, right? Well, suck it. That's what happens when you watch this show. If the host is unable to watch for any reason, it goes on the audience members. I also have to say shout outs to good friends, Mike Frosto, who was there recording, and our other good friend, Octavio Villanueva, who are working on the staff. It was really cool to see them out that way. Definitely miss both of those guys. It is always a blast. They are actually two of the guys who tend to hold the cameras for me whenever I do my post interviews. I do see a Jordan Jitsu, which means I'm about to go ahead and cut this one off over here to our friends on Instagram. It's been fun, but if you want this party to continue, you're going to go on over to our Facebook, our YouTube, our Twitch, and our Instagram. Feel free to find us at Grappling Hour. We'll love to have you guys on there. And I see a Josh Starlord Leduc joining in, so that means it's time to go ahead and say goodbye. Come find us over at Grappling Hour elsewhere. All right, now that we've got two of these friends coming back on, I'll go ahead and introduce them in the order in which they have appeared. Hello to one Jordan Jitsu. Jordan Heisman, how are you doing, sir?
I'm very good. How about yourself, Raph?
Very well. You have been a busy man. You are getting the entire world ready for Jiu-Jitsu Woodstock, are you not?
Yes, I am. It's been a lot of fun. I'm enjoying it. It's good to be back. Kind of in my element, putting together events and doing the stuff that makes me happy.
Good for you, man. Well, speaking of doing the things that make you happy, here's the opposite of that. Let's go and welcome one Josh Starlord Leduc. Josh, how are you doing, sir?
Raph, Jordan, thanks for taking the time to do my podcast today. I'm very excited to be watching combat jiu-jitsu with you guys. And,
I love that you're a one-note comic and you are very aggressively going against any efforts to try and learn any other styles of comedy.
I literally don't know what you said, so sure.
I know. It's not the first nor the last time. Well, gentlemen, we've already had one thing happen. Josh, I'm going to ask your opinion on this. Spencer getting the nod to go ahead on the first round.
My boy Spencer. You know what's crazy is he really hasn't been training that much, and he's been pretty public with that. Shout out to Frank. I like him. But it's got to sting a little bit when a guy is very public, like, oh, I didn't really train. I'm working. I'm training like 1 day a week, and then you get tapped out in – the first round. It's got to suck a little.
I mean, Frank's a pretty regular competitor. It would actually be, I would assume, a little bit more on the ouch scale on the side that it's more of a Henzo Gracie guy, and they have their own form of policing whenever they don't do well against themselves, as opposed to the rest of us that go, oh, you lost. To them, it's always like, you let us down. You let the banner down.
Yeah, to me, it's like, dude, I know how good Spencer is, but you're right. To those guys, it's kind of probably like, oh, hi, kitty. It's probably like, oh, you lost to the guy who's a recovering addict? Like, come on.
And I mean, I hope that's not how we get down to it, because jiu-jitsu is going to get very lonely when we start categorizing.
And I can only make those jokes because I am raging alcoholic. Okay,
that's fine. So you guys will have to narrate to me because my broadcast is out and I'm actually going on my cell phone in a second.
I am on my cell phone too. We got Mike Davila and some other guy. I don't know the bracket.
Real.
That guy. I know Davila. I don't know the other guy. Davila's a beast. And I like this bracketing because someone said it in the fucking comments. It's like you get all these guys from the same area and they're always grappling each other. It's nice to see a bracket where Davila and Battle aren't fucking first round. Frank and Davila, Battle and Frank, like they kind of split it up this time.
I agree. And it is kind of weird to me because I was saying earlier is that I'm usually there. So to not be there to me is hyper strange. So normally I'm there. I can kind of give you a scope of what's happening. But the fact that this thing has already gotten like 2 matches underway very quickly. All right, I've got it on my phone. So for whatever reason, you're seeing Jeffrey Al work off of his arm bar. And Jeff also has, he loses it in that transition. Jeff actually has part of his hand that is missing. So if you notice that, yes, he has been very, very famously out here competing at the highest of levels, black belt, San Diego based, one of the funnest people that you'll get to see. And I think he might have moved. I'm not quite 100% sure on that, but a hell of a competitor. And I always like that every time I see him, I'm always like, hey, bro, what's going on? And he just looks at me and he's like, hey, man, I'm always listening to your stuff. So I'm like, okay.
Did he take on Jordan Hawley first round of combat jiu-jitsu?
It's entirely.
I think he might have, yeah.
Okay, because I knew that guy had one hand too. Not to like put them together and shit like that, but yeah.
Pretty sure it's the same person then.
Think about it though, from this perspective, having the one hand with jiu-jitsu overtime is a little different than having a regular match, because here a 2-on-1 is very important to have when you have to defend a choke, and that's the whole aspect of the game.
And here's the other thing: like, what happens if Davila picks that arm for the spider web?
Yeah.
Oh
Like,
wow.
I don't know.
Probably a bitch to try to straighten that thing out, I would think.
I mean, maybe. I don't know. Like, fucking.
There's no hand to grab onto. Like your lever is shorter.
Fucking Spencer's texting me right now.
Take care of that. I won't put you on blast, but there's a slight transitional series here that's happening.
The camera.
Mike.
There we go.
Mike is following this through in ways that other organizations, we won't name names, could have potentially stopped.
So,
but again, wasn't that the greatest gift that Submission Underground could have given to Jiu-Jitsu overtime?
Yeah, pretty much. Eddie, yeah. And they're taking it with Stripe, man. Man, I can't fucking talk. I've been up way too long. They're taking it in stride. Heather's very playful about all this, and so is Chael. So, yeah, good for them. I would be calling this out here, but
I would tell you this, though. I'm excited to see how this is going to go, considering, as we mentioned, this is kind of the first jiu-jitsu game show that really is out there. Like, that's what this is, right? Like, that's what we're calling this.
Yeah, it's pretty much a game show. You're right. So, do I get to hang out with my buddy Kevin tonight, or am I just with you guys?
I don't know. Kevin's been a little busy as of recently. We've been shooting notes back and forth, so I know he's alive. I can tell you that much.
Oh, cry me a river, Kevin. I was fucking busy too. I ran an event, and I got a family-sized vehicle today. Like, Jesus fucking Christ.
Come on. What kind of family vehicle did you get?
Well, I have a family vehicle because I drive a Cherokee. And, it's got 4 doors. But my wife, on the other hand, wanted to live her dream and have a Wrangler, a 2-door Wrangler. And that is not very good for babies. But I got to say, first, I'll tell you what we got. We got a fucking Nissan Pathfinder. So it's like a big old SUV with a 3rd row. I went full-on dad mode. And, yeah. But I want to say I was the responsible one for once in this relationship because it was between the Cherokee and a Challenger when I got it. The Challenger was cheaper. It had less miles. It had the Hemi. It was an automatic rather than a manual, but it had that fucking 8-ball Prindle, and I was like, come on. And no, I had to be smart.
You know what, though? That shows growth. That shows that maybe you're ready to be a father. It shows that, hey, man, you're gonna have responsibilities that you're gonna have to take on that you didn't necessarily have to take on before. I will ask this: who won between Gabe and Elias?
Elias did.
Elias did. How'd he win?
Yeah, I didn't see what the finish was. I just heard that he got a submission in the second, the top of the second overtime. Yeah.
I literally just started watching, so I don't know.
It's okay. I'm just trying to keep a note because I want to make sure I'm not labeling them wrong. So we've got Spencer, we've got Elias.
How did Spencer get Frank?
Well, it was by that very first period of overtime. So he started it, and he had an arm bar.
Yeah, he got an arm bar, Frank.
He was really good, and Frank did a decent job of getting to his knees. But the hard part was making the transition, and in the transition, you were able to see Spencer kind of traced along with him and kept it and was able to get him. Frank worked off the back at the bottom portion of that first round and couldn't get it done, but he was trying, man. It was good. I liked seeing Frank's hustle there because you could see that moment when he got submitted, he was putting 140% into trying to work from that back.
So here's my question: are they capping the ride time at 2 minutes for this event, or are they going back to no time limit?
So I didn't see in the rule set because they did a quick little explanation, and unless it did something different that I didn't see, it didn't put the time limit on there.
I'm looking fucking jacked.
Is that where you're at right now?
Totally sober too.
We'll talk a little bit about your event when we have a second here, but I do want to respect Mike working very, very diligently on trying to create a little bit of a rear naked choke pressure around the chin And you're seeing Jeff do a good job of like surviving this, but it does not look fun, man.
Nah, dude, Deville has been competing in EBI rule sets for fucking years now, and he's always had a really good back game, and it looks very improved. Oh my god, fucking Spencer. Okay, so I'm not really going to be talking out of turn because he's made it pretty public on Facebook. Spencer's basically been talking about how he's losing the passion for jiu-jitsu and he might be done and stuff like that. And then I just texted him and I'm like, hey, bro, maybe you shouldn't be done. He's like, nah, I'm done.
And he's still competing tonight?
Yeah.
Says he's done. Who's he got in the second round? He's probably got the win. He's got Elias then.
Oh, he's going to have Elias, yeah.
Yep.
I will tell you this though. What a time to kind of be like, I'm done after this one last heist. One more time, they pull me back in.
Yeah, pretty much. He's getting too old for this shit.
I mean, hey, dude.
That was a movie reference, not like Spencer's actually too old.
No, but it's a fair question. How old is he?
I think he's like 30.
Okay,
31.
I mean, jiu-jitsu old for 30, I get for
competing, yeah.
Listen, listen. It's a fucking movie quote. He's not too old for this shit. I'm getting too old for this shit.
I know that. I've seen that movie.
I had to explain it for the guys in Iowa. Come on, Raph.
Well, I don't know, man. But you know what? This is the first time that I think Jordan's brought his own background to the telecast. So I kind of understand a little bit that we need to slow things down. Let's talk a little bit about your event, though. Josh, how did everything go yesterday, man?
Except for the power going out in the first match and fucking everything up. It was fucking awesome. But, you know, it's the first event I've had in a long time with that level. The first Zapatero I had in a long time. I did the Battle for the Axe just for fun. And I had a fucking good time. And if I'm not having a good time, I'm not fucking doing them. So that's pretty much how I'm feeling these days. I thought I was going to get a lot more hate for the commentary. But listen, I got 70% of the people saying, oh, yeah, bring that guy back. I had my best friend of 11 years get drunk, do commentary, and he has no fucking jiu-jitsu experience. Like, he took one class and quit.
Hey, you know,
go ahead.
No, there's something to be said. Like, dude, when I first started doing commentary, I was thinking to myself, oh no, like, how am I going to sound as compared to other black belts? And then I heard other black belts do commentary, and I said, oh, I have nothing to worry about. They're quite bad.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like, if we look back, Mike Goldberg has no martial arts experience, and he was the UFC commentator for years, and people liked him. So my buddy Matt, handlebars, mullet, full tattoos, South will rise again, and he pretty much said, don't tread on me like 50 times last night, guard pulling, self-slamming. So it was pretty awesome.
Hey, you know what, dude? Bless that. And you know what? That's a great thing. I saw it a couple times. You had a lot of people tuning in. I saw upwards of like 175 people. That's great. I was super stoked for that and for you. I do have a couple questions. The first of which is this, sir. What matches do I need to go back and watch?
Anything with, what's his face? Fucking Andre Porfirio, the guy who won. His matches were great. Elijah and Andre was probably the match of the night. Then I would say Joe's match against Kodiak was good. They're big guys, so it was a little slower pace, but it was a really fucking good match. And then the two people that stood out to me the most was this blue belt from Long Island, 10th Planet Long Island, Dylan Garofalo, and he tapped out a brown belt, took Emilio Alexander Hernandez to overtime, did well in overtime, and what's his name? The other 10th Planet kid from Jacksonville, fucking Sam Barboza, really surprised me too. So those guys I would watch. But let's get to this match, Raph. We got Ethan Kronston and Sergio Hernandez.
Splurgio, if you would. This dude is an amazing tattoo artist. He has a tattoo shop. In addition to his time as a jiu-jitsu competitor, he is really cool. He's also the guy who subdued a guy who was trying to rob his store using jiu-jitsu out in San Diego a while back.
He used a rear triangle in the streets.
That's
Well,
awesome.
It just held the guy and was like talking shit to him while he was holding him in a rear triangle.
Dude, I had one of my buddies. They kind of had some good back and forth matches together, even at I think Ultimate Mat Warriors and stuff like that. But I used to have to like help my buddy game plan for that, and I looked at it the first time I saw him do Sergio guard. I was like, survive, dude. That's what you got to do there. It sucks, and he's really good at getting it. So speaking of being really good at getting it, Ethan Krellinston doing an excellent job of control right here, getting the ride time on a very, very, very smooth element. Now he looks like he's in on a rear naked choke, and I think that you are seeing a very uncomfortable Sergio Hernandez here. Mm-hmm. And he gets the tap right now.
I'm going to go ahead and refresh my feed because it's a little behind yours.
I mean, again, this is kind of weird because there's not really a match. We're all just kind of watching the element that's, oh, okay, well, the match is done. It's been 40 seconds. So what's even weirder is when they have to stall for the time where they go, well, let's spend 5 minutes talking about that 40 seconds.
You know, I kind of like this because we should be done relatively quickly.
Hope.
Yeah, let's hope because I'm fucking exhausted. I'm trying to remember where I was going. Oh, anyways, Ethan Krellinston has got to be one of the favorites. I mean, if we're looking at the favorites, it's got to be Ethan and Keith Krikorian, and that's probably who most people get in the finals. Very interesting matches to me because they're both really good guys in overtime. So dark horses, who do you guys got for dark horses coming out of this?
Gordon?
I'd have to look at the bracket because one of my dark horses would have been Daffron, but he got taken out in the first round.
He's grappling for your title, right? The 125 title?
Yeah. Him and Teddy Bear Williams will be doing the 125-pound title at BJJ Woodstock.
So, Josh, yesterday when I was on air for the UFC, I made a statement where I went through all of the bracket, and I said, actually, Spencer was a guy who I said, hey, listen, I know Frank's really good, and I still thought Frank would have a good chance against Krellinston. I thought Krellinston was the favorite, but I was like, it's possible we see that. But if anybody's going to surprise me, it's going to be Spencer.
Yeah, I think Spencer can definitely surprise us. Davila and Battle are also guys who can pull it out of their ass. It's really weird, man, because, like, who knows what's going to happen? It's a game show. It's the first time we're seeing this.
And even – oh, sorry. Go ahead, Jordan.
No, it's good. I thought it was interesting they were comparing it to the dunk contest because, like, Eddie Bravo always tries to find some comparison that he can compare it to another sport. You know, he was always using the college football overtime thing for EBI overtime, and now he's calling this like a dunk contest. So we'll see what he compares it to next.
Keith looks like a serial killer in that picture.
You know what?
He looks like Keith.
That's from him being a purple belt. So they need to get a new photo of him, I think, on the ASAP. But I think that's just from the Michael Plaster Jiu-Jitsu collection that they just keep using.
Plastering the system.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, Keith is a savage. He's taking out a meal. Like, when I talked to him after ADCC, I was like, dude, how'd it feel grappling with Cheche? He's like, I mean, scary, but, like, I loved it. And I'm like, you've been getting a lot of these fucking giants. Like, how do you feel about that? He's like, I fucking love it. I'm like, would you do some freak show matches for me? And he's like, hell yeah, I will. And
nice.
Hey, I'm glad you put that together. That should be a fun one. And, you know, honestly, man, I always enjoy watching Keith compete.
Me too.
He's a gamer, dude. He just tries to give you a good show. And I think not only does he have a good record to go along with it, but I really do believe, I told him years ago, I was like, hey, man, I think you're honestly one of the best at jiu-jitsu overtime that I've seen.
Yep.
And now he's getting his due, and it's kind of cool to see.
Yeah. Go ahead, Jordan.
No, I was just saying this rule set's made for him, man. Like, he's won all of these subspectrums and just dominated in EBI overtime. Like, nobody can hold his back, and his back control is really, really strong.
Well, let's also look at this. Keith has already gotten the submissions. Now it's just going to come down to time on the submission. And I want to point this out. I've trained with Keith a little bit when we do kind of overtime stuff. His rear naked choke grip is just debilitating. The kid does not let go. I personally don't love it because I'm like, I mean, hey, dude, I'm just here to be a dummy for you whenever we do those sorts of things. And that grip is very strong.
You know, I talked to him after ADCC. I was like, dude, how do you feel about that? He's like, I mean, scary, but, like, I loved it. And I'm like, would you do some freak show matches for me? And he's like, hell yeah, I will. And for a jiu-jitsu overtime event, I kind of thought some of these guys would have better overtime games. Like when I'm sitting here and I see, wait, what
I
just
think
happened?
I think they expired the time.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
my guess here, because we should be seeing Keith get his hand raised. That's the good news, is at the very least they won't be subjecting them to just figure out like, did you make it in time? It's like, bro, we saw Keith submit him in like 30 seconds. So if that's not the case, we got to keep this boat moving.
Anyways, as I was saying, when you're on the back, I know I'm slurring my words. I'm not even fucking drunk. I'm tired. As I was saying, when you're on the back and you're not trying to keep that harness tight ear to ear and you're just letting the guy lean forward, it's like, bro, you have no fucking clue what you're doing.
You see that a lot in EBI overtime. Like people don't try to take advantage of the moment and get the best possible, the best possible seatbelt and the best possible hooks and the best possible head position that they could get. Like it's like, I don't know if it's because they're tired at that point usually because they've already grappled for 10 minutes, but they just kind of like throw their arm over the shoulder, grab it, and they're like, oh, guess we're going. Like
one of my favorite memories is a buddy of mine. He was competing at like one of his first tournaments. Just a green kid, strong, big guy. And I was over on the side. They go to overtime. And I'm like, hey, man, you're up against a 10th Planet guy. I saw that your control on your back was a little loose. You're kind of like this. Can you do me a solid and kind of cinch that up and just kind of like this? And he's like, got it. And then in between rounds, literally keeps his arms out, extended that far. And then all of a sudden he looks at me, but he gives me this wink like, Raph, I'm on it. And later he comes up to me and he goes, I didn't listen to a word you said. And I was like, yeah. He goes, I just realized Raph had the right choice. I was like, kid, you're a blue belt. You're just starting, man. I don't want to. You're fine. Just relax.
Yeah. Well, that makes me think of like a tournament I did in New York. Eddie Bravo was actually there. I was facing one of his students in the final, and his student picked the spider web. So I'm thinking like, oh, this dude's gonna have a nasty spider web. Like I gotta watch out for this bicep slicer and everything. He literally just like lays his legs across my chest with no tension whatsoever. No. And the referee's like, "Are you ready?" And he's like, "Yep." And I'm like, "Oh fuck yeah, I'm ready." Like he has no tension whatsoever. He immediately pulled my elbow to the mat in like 0.2 seconds. And even the referee like thought that he did something wrong because I escaped so quickly. But like he literally just had no spider web game whatsoever.
But you know what though? Sometimes you get those gifts. And when the jiu-jitsu gods give you those gifts, it is your job to just say,
exactly.
I appreciate you today.
Is this kid a blue belt?
It's a good question. You're talking about Ortega. I don't know. But if he is, that's even better for John Battle, man.
Yeah, this is not going to be fun for him. I like how they're like, he's dancing around, facing off, like they're about to have a match. It's like, go sit down.
Dude, everybody's kind of like the first people who came out, even with Spencer and Frank, they both have like that nervous kind of like, all right, let's go. And then sit down immediately. It's wild. Here we go. We start off, and it does look like John Battle gets the first at bat going offensively. He's got a grip around the chin. There is a body triangle, and now he's going to get the opportunity to probably finish this because he is in close on this. It does not look fun on the face, and you are starting to see him turn a little red. However, Ortega's trying to do a little bit of pummeling with the legs to see if he can maybe loosen it up. I just don't know how long he's going to survive without addressing a little bit more of that top portion of the rear naked choke.
I don't know about you guys, but when my neck is being attacked, I'm not usually trying to open their legs up. We all saw the Gary Tonin submission over what's-his-face where he just followed him through. Like, come on.
I mean, bro, here's the thing. I saw a couple times, I think I want to say through the UFC, yesterday, even looking at Bermudez, that match with Figueroa, like he gritted through part of that rear naked choke the first time. The second time, he was able to get out, and yet each time he didn't protect his neck, and I just go, dude, you can only do that dance for so long before you have to address it.
Yep.
And Figueroa was doing a good job of switching back and forth too. Every time he'd pull that choking arm down, he'd come back in with another, with a hook from the opposite side.
So does that mean Benavidez is 0 for 7 in title shots or something like that?
0 for 5.
They said 0 for 4. 5. Is it 5?
Yep.
God damn.
Twice to Mighty Mouse, twice to Figueroa, and there's another one in there. I can't remember who he faced.
Henry Cejudo.
Oh, yep, that's it.
Well, it does look like Senior Battle is going to go on, and him and Keith Krikorian have a dance scheduled in the second round.
Fun one.
There's a rematch. Well, I mean, it's not really a rematch because it's not a full match, but rematch from Sub-Spectrum.
Can you do me a favor, Eddie, and stop putting blue belts on here? Thanks, bud.
Hey, here's what I have as my observation. Do you guys remember when Tom Halpin was on this thing?
Yeah, I do. Was he a blue belt?
That kid right there was a blue belt. Tom Halpin is not.
Oh,
Tom Halpin was supposed to be on this, and this is always the hardest part about anything EBI combat jiu-jitsu related, which is you see him in the promotions, you see him in the promotional packaging, and then right when it gets close to Christmas, you go, this isn't what I asked for. Where did this blue belt show up? So no disrespect to you, Ortega, but I can't tell if he's a last-minute replacement.
I'm sure
which case,
probably,
especially for the age of COVID, I have an appreciation for those who step up. However, it would be nice if we had somebody comparable to Tom Halpin stepping in, who is a combat jiu-jitsu champ previously.
Listen, this is why I'm going down to 8-man brackets, because like 16, that's twice as many people. Like my 8-man bracket coming up now, Andrew Alexander, Keith Krikorian, fucking John Calistine, Jordan Hawley, fucking what's his face? Diggle, Werther Marcialis, Corey Brown, and Mauricio Gomez.
Yeah, that's insane.
Savages, Somebody drops out. I got like two fucking these replacements. I wish I could have gotten first because Werther's ass would fucking be in here.
Werther's?
Yeah, Werther wouldn't be in there.
I also love you saying like, hey, listen, that other dummy, who else is here? God damn it, I hate these people. I hate these people. I would tell you this, though, as somebody who's also put together like brackets, the thing I hate the most is, especially with 16, you get to that point where it just allows the jiu-jitsu gods for some of them to find an excuse as they get closer. And sometimes it's them just saying like, oh, I left my wallet in another state. I gotta go. And I go, don't do this to me.
Frank did that shit to me.
Did he really?
Yeah. Well, like I set him up with a super fight with Keith, and I set him up with a joint seminar with Jason Rao. And Jason Rao got to Io, and he's like, "Yeah, I don't think Frank's coming anymore." I was like, okay. Like, I wish I would have known this at least a few days in advance, not the day before the event. But I don't know.
Well, okay, so this is a little confusing to me. Before we get to this next round, because I got to actually put this one up. It is Cohen versus Courier, I believe. Before we go, I just have to say, I can't tell. Are we cheersing these people? Because we got to do it quick, if that's the case. Because
we can't. Like they're keeping a good clip. How about we do one at the end of every round? Like yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, by the way, another guy in jiu-jitsu that hates my guts, Marcelo Cohen, even though I gave him a shiny belt that he begged for.
So why does Marcelo hate you?
I don't know. All I know is I paid him money and I gave him a fucking belt, and then it's like, nah, I don't like you anymore.
Well, it does look like there was a submission already to begin with.
Oh,
so now they're going to
get
position.
That's what you get.
Oh, dang, that was quick.
Yeah, I mean,
face crank.
Yeah.
Come on,
listen.
not even a good face crank.
Hey, listen.
Craig
Jones has also tapped to a face crank. A legend.
Yeah, but this one isn't a legend.
You know what's great about Craig is that Craig has to eat every joke I've sent his way. And he sent me a couple messages back and being like, hey, mate, I mean, come on. I was like, listen, you just fucking have to live with this, dude. When you get your rematch, you can change things. It's very entirely possible that you will have a win. But for the next 6 weeks, I got to load up on all the Craig Jones jokes I could possibly make. And this one has been decided very quickly.
Listen, that's what you get. You do your fucking interviews in shades, and you're like, the little guy, he's going to come in, and he's going to surprise the big guy, and I'm going to chapping everybody out. And then you get tapped by a shitty face crank in 15 seconds.
I didn't realize this was the Josh Starlord with the therapy hour. Everybody,
Get it out.
When I'm on my podcast, I will do as I please.
It's not your podcast, but I like the idea that as you're doing this though, like I don't know all of your guys' beefs. Like you don't know who doesn't like me necessarily, but I like to think that it's a pretty small list that I know of. Most people don't really tell me they don't like me. They just pretend to like me. So at the very least, they do that fake thing. But I like that you very quickly address it, Josh, where you're like, oh, speaking of this gentleman, he hates me and I hate him. And I hope he already submitted. Take that.
Listen, I don't hate him. Hate's a strong word. I just think he gets what he deserves. And now I'm going to say this. I always let people know how I feel about them. If I like you, you know I like you. I'm not going to be that guy that does fake shit to you. If you know I don't, or if I don't like you, you're going to fucking know, okay? Like, that's it. I told the guys at my rules meeting yesterday, I was like, listen, if you stall, I'm going to boo you. And then I'm not going to have you back on my fucking event. And I'm not going to like you. And you're going to know it. So, is what it is.
It's very funny because as different as we are in our approaches, there are a lot of similarities in what we do. You tell them you hate them. I just tell them I'm going to mock you. So, like, I've told people, I'm like, listen, I have so much respect for you as athletes, but if you don't give me a good show, I'm the first person heckling you. So, don't fuck up, but no, I want you to succeed. But again, see rule 1, don't fuck up. Love you guys. Bye. Then I leave.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. And Jordan's over here like in Iowa, man. We love everybody.
That's not true.
I was about to say, no, Jordan's already revealed tonight that he had somebody cancel on him. So I like the fact that thus far in, you know, I know that, but I know that the more I know the more that we continue to talk on this show between all of us, I just like that people who end up coming and competing, there could be a lot of dirty laundry spilt over on this and being like, and another thing about Keith Kikorian, okay? One time he said that candy corn was delicious, and we all know that it's not, Keith. You're a fucking liar, and you need to fucking repent. Thank you.
I think the nice thing about this podcast is if you're cool with us, we're going to sing your praises. And guess what? We're going to root for you really hard because we're loyal fans and friends. But if you fuck up, you're going to hear me talk shit about you. Maybe not these guys, but I'll talk shit for them. If Frank Rosenthal had no show to my event the day before and didn't tell me, like, I'd be blasting it everywhere. And Frank, I like Frank. I'm not going to say anything bad about him because he hasn't done that to me. Jordan, you're a much better man than I am. Pablo Alfonso in the arm.
It's been long enough. It's been long enough. I'm over it.
Very, very good.
I was pretty upset about it for a while, but
well, here's what I can tell you a little bit about Alfonso. Alfonso is a previous jiu-jitsu, combat jiu-jitsu competitor. Luis Quinones is a champion in the United World Grappling for both gi and no gi, and he ends up getting submitted via an armbar here. Now, the question is Luigi going to be able to respond in kind on this one?
Wait, is that guy's name really Luigi?
Nah, I call him Luigi.
Okay,
Every time I see somebody named Luis, I call him Luigi because I just think it's a funnier way to like address them. Plus, he and I, like, I give him shit a lot. And he's really good, man. Like, he's a solid competitor, very good wrestling style. And that, I feel like those advantages he has kind of get neutralized here. So now the question is, can Luis respond in time because he is short on time? He's going with his face crank, and Pablo doing a really good job of pushing the elbow off of his chin. And Luis, I mean, throwing up as many possible attacks as he can here. He is here, and this is uncomfortable. However, you see Pablo doing a finger wag as to point out it's not enough, and it does look like Pablo is going to advance on this one.
I like Pablo. He's a good dude.
I liked him when I saw him compete at the last one. He seemed pretty all right.
Apparently, he fought on the best Strikeforce card ever, that Diaz versus Mayhem card, was it? Or was it? Yeah, I think it was Mayhem. I don't remember.
All right. Well, you don't need to. It's not that important. Let's do a quick run of the mill. I thought I cheersed Spencer. Apparently, Elias got one. So, Josh, take Elias.
Who did he submit?
He submitted Duck. That is Austin Daffron.
I'm going to go ahead and skip him and go ahead and cheers the guy that tapped out Marcelo Cohen. You are doing the Lord's work, sir.
All right, then I'm gonna go to Jordan. Can you give a cheers to Senor Elias?
It tasted good.
Cheers to who?
Cheers to Elias, who was able to beat
Oh.
Daffron in the first round.
Elias, the only reason you beat Austin is because you're bigger than him. 125 pounds, BJJ Woodstock, August 22nd. Check it out.
Jesus, hold on. The most passive-aggressive cheers that I think we've ever done.
Mine was not
I
passive.
feel bad because I don't even know that guy, but
Get it, but it's turned into a very Festivus for the rest of us, cheersing a big like another issue that I want to air against you, Mike Sevilla. I don't even know. Did Mike beat on ride time or did Mike get a
No,
submission?
I think he got a sub.
All right, Mike, this one goes out to you. Thank you very much for keeping the proceedings going. We'll give you a better cheers if you continue on throughout the rest of the evening. Cheers to you. Gulp.
Shout out to Mike, one of the OGs in the Northeast game.
And then we've also got Ethan Krellenston, who got a very quick submission.
I love me some Ethan Krellenston.
And I'll give you the opportunity to do the cheers there, sir.
Okay. Ethan, you slept on my couch. I've taken you to bars. You've seen me try to set up threesomes. I'm so glad that you got the win, sir.
Jordan, I'll let you take Keith Krikorian because
Yes.
I've got too many grievances that I want to do with Keith. Go ahead.
amazing. Great job, Keith Krikorian. Good to see you back in action. You spent 2 days in a bedroom watching Boss Baby over and over on the weekend at Club Spectrum. Literally like 6 times. Cheers, Keith Krikorian.
That's how I know that's the most accurate toast I've ever heard in my life.
It's legit.
Before I go on to
Go ahead.
Before I go on to John, though, I want to make sure that people know this as truth. Keith has literally sent me messages that have been like, "Oh, you mean like Boss Baby?" And I go, "No, it has nothing to do with Boss Baby. Why the fuck are you forced justifying that into the conversation?" He's like, "Hey, it's really good. I really like that one." And I go, "Keith, no one else but you is giving that movie money. Like you at a 6-year-old child. Oh, I love it. I watch it a lot. I bet you do, Keith."
It was actually in the middle of one of our events. Like there was a loud cheering, and then it got silent, and you heard Keith say to somebody, "Have you seen Despicable Me 3?" Like it just went dead quiet, and then all of a sudden you could hear Keith say that, and I was like, "That's the most Keith Krikorian thing I've ever heard."
You know, hey man, I've done this. I haven't said that when we're gonna do it because Corona, but I've told Keith because he's a huge Star Wars fan. I told him that I want to watch Star Wars with him and film my reactions. And it's not like I dislike Star Wars, but there's no way in hell I'm going to sound as ridiculous as Keith is when we watch together. And I know that he's going to try and tell me things that I already know. So I figured that once we get the opportunity to be in the same place and time, we will do that. But my God, Keith Krikorian. And we have to do one for John Battle. Do you want to take this one? I'll give this one over to Josh.
Again?
Oh, did we do one for John Battle? Because Ortega did one.
Never mind. Here's to you, Battle. Here's to many more victories in battle.
There we go. Boom. Take that, you assholes. We got them all done in literally 2 minutes worth of cheerses.
I still think mine was the best. I don't remember the guy's name, but I'm glad he tapped him.
Listen, dude, I'm not gonna lie. I think yours is best too.
Listen, when you run around with a fake gold belt you got from some amateur MMA promotion, calling yourself a combat jiu-jitsu world champion, and then you tap to a little bit of wrist bone on the cheekbone, then you're done.
Well, it looks like they've got a commercial for the next combat jiu-jitsu here.
Ooh,
So,
what's next?
Nathan Orchard's coming in on this one.
Mhm.
Who else? I like Nathan, so that's already a good way to start. So that means we probably have a what is this? Yep, a Wagner Hocha.
Oh, rematch. I like me some Wagner too.
Who else we got here, man? Because this looks like Rafael Domingos, who's always in these, no matter what. It's like Kim Tara on this one as well.
I don't know how I feel about Kim Tara.
And that is the lightweights wins the date. Okay, at some point. Some point in the future.
Huh. Live and exclusive on UFC Fight Pass.
I mean, I'll tell you this much. At the very least, they just announced 4 names. Orchard really doesn't drop out of a ton of things. So there's that. Wagner, he's ready to compete. Like, dude, Wagner's slapping his kids on his Instagram, so he's ready to compete at any given time.
Okay. I thought this was gonna get really dark. It was like a joke he did on Instagram.
No. I'm just saying, like they showed like video of him on his Instagram where he's kind of messing around and playing with his kids, and it just goes, "This happens all the time," and it's like to see like who could slap or kick each other, and it's just kind of playful slaps.
Yeah.
But I'm still thinking to myself, like, yeah, my dad and I didn't do that. Like, my dad and I didn't be like, all right, establish distance. That's what you get, dummy.
Your dad also wasn't Wagner Russia.
That is very true. My dad is also super surprised every time I'm like, yeah, you know, with this jiu-jitsu stuff, and he's like, oh yeah, I never thought you do that. You're always soccer, and I'm like, I know. Now it's a very different world, my friend.
Sorry, I'm not used to doing this on my phone.
It's okay. It takes a second, I'm sure. Jordan, so but while we have a break, what can you tell us about BJJ Woodstock? What is one of the matches that people should get excited about?
The one I'm super excited about is our 185-pound no-gi championship. We got Aaron Harris versus William Tackett. Aaron Harris is our absolute champion. He completely dominated a 16-man bracket it was the end of last June to become our absolute champion. And then he weighed like 170 pounds, beating two guys that placed at ADCC trials. So he's taking on William Tackett in that 185-pound title match, and that's a really good match, and I'm super excited about that one. I think a lot of other people should be too.
I mean, dude, anytime you get William Tackett on a fucking match or a card, that's always something really good to see. And I know that all of us have a huge appreciation for what that kid does. So kudos to you for putting that together, man.
Absolutely, and I loved Kevin Bradley's BJJ Woodstock commercial. I don't know if you guys heard it.
No, I haven't heard it yet.
It's pretty great.
It's like I mean, I can't explain it. There's just so many like random premises that you're just not expecting. But there's a part where they're talking about like the card, and he's like, it's a kid. He's acting like he's a kid. And he's like, I love William Tackett. I'm thinking about making a T-shirt that says I love William Tackett.
Now hold on. I see Jordan is in the section where he says, I'll be there 155. Is that in regards to you, sir, for BJJ Woodstock?
Sorry, what's that?
So Jordan Hawley is saying in the comment section, he says he'll be there 155.
It's from my 155 division.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. Jordan's my boo.
Or maybe that EBI too. He might have been talking about that.
That was the other thing I was trying to figure out there, because I was like, well, doesn't that seem like a 170 with Wagner and Nathan? But I mean, they're the type that are just lanky that they can cut. So
no, they can make 55. He might be there for that as well, because I think last time I talked to him, he was like, fuck it, I'll do combat jiu-jitsu at 55 as well.
Fuck yeah. That's awesome, dude.
He did it at 45, right?
Yeah. I don't know how often he's going to be making 45, or at least like morning up. I know he can make it day before, but dude, he's getting swole.
He's big, yeah.
Yeah, he's getting some man strength on him now.
Did he not have it before?
No.
Okay.
He was at the women's weight, okay?
I mean, I'm not going to tell him that, so you do you.
I'll fucking tell him that. Jordan, you competed at women's weight before.
I have? Or Jordan Hawley.
No, not you. You're a big boy. Come on, Jordan.
Yeah, I was about to say, I was like, Jordan, I don't know when the last time you made 155 was.
No, 55 is not women's weight. 55, we start getting into boys' weight.
I made 155 a couple times. I did the Metamorphs Challenger at 155, but I looked like shit. I was there was not much left of me.
This guy in the commercials, that fucking Andre the Giant. Did you guys see that?
Oh my god!
Yeah, that's Bigfoot Silva.
No, it's not. It's fucking Andre the Giant over there.
God. It is very funny to see these promotional packages being put together for combat jiu-jitsu back when we used to be able to have events. I will tell you this, the last event I got to cover was the combat jiu-jitsu with Tom Halpin. So very crazy. Oh, look at Manny. Manny's a fucking beast. Manny is one of the guys who helps to produce the show. Very nice guy. Glad to see him get some shine. Let's see if the other folks are getting shine, because we have to kill time is apparently what we're doing here.
We can air more beefs.
You know, I mean, here's the weird part is like I have a handful of beefs and that's it. Like I don't really have street beefs. I'll tell you one beef I do have right now, and it's not really a huge beef, but it's good enough. So I saw today that our good friend Freddie Perdrick from BJJ World is going to do a podcast where he drinks beer.
Oh, so copying my podcast and your podcast, Raph? Come on.
My podcast and your podcast. Yeah, I was about to say, I was like, the intellectual property of this show has just been like, you know what the funny part is? I always tell people, I'm like, whatever it is you do, just tell me what your show is in a sentence. And thus far in, the only thing I know about his podcast is it's him and a black belt and they drink beer and it comes out on Sundays. And I feel like 1/4 of that is that the show that we do here.
Well,
He's
you
riding your
drink beer.
coattails, man.
I'm a black belt. Does your show come out on Sundays? Well, it's the Sunday today. That's the reports right there.
Got them all.
I just love the fact that I sent it to my buddy and I just go, man, these streets ain't safe no more. All these kids trying to fucking copy my shit. It's like I can't even come up with a new idea before somebody tries to replicate it each fucking time. So anyway, Freddie, I see you. I hope your show does well. But I mean, like, welcome to the trend.
You know, how is drinking beer and talking like a new idea? I'm pretty sure it's what we all did at bars before this COVID shit.
Well, not only was it what we did before, but the whole point of this was people couldn't go anywhere to watch these matches. Sometimes you would watch with your friends or you get together to watch it. And so I said, listen, at the very least, if you can't get together with all your friends, we should make it so that we're able to at least kind of communicate and have some fun. So I don't mind people doing that as a thing, but as an actual concept for a show, I'm just kind of like, well, what else are you doing?
I don't understand the mean mugging before combat jiu-jitsu.
So would you smile? Was that what you would do? What approach do you suggest then?
Show up to weigh-ins naked.
Naked.
Yeah, I don't think
I'll drop everything just to make weight. Even they'll be like, dude, you're 2 pounds under. I don't care. Intimidation. And then I put it back on and I go donkey guard. Actually, you know what? Emil Fisher, as much as I hate him, had one of the best weigh-ins. For his weigh-in in Colorado went up there, he got Bruce Bugsby's face put on his underwear on his crotch.
Yeah,
that's what I would do.
That's reminiscent of Ravishing Rick Rude. That's the whole concept. Is Rick Rude would put his opponent's face on his crotch.
I get it, but still, come on.
Okay, I'm just making sure. Always quote the source material.
My combat jiu-jitsu weigh-in was in the middle of a Twin Peaks, and I wore leopard booty shorts.
Nice. That's pretty good, too.
I didn't even stare at my opponent. He tried to do a stare down, and I just stared at the camera, stared forward with like my hands behind my back, looking like a porn star with my mustache.
I mean, I like the fact that, Jordan, you have a storied life of competition that is already continuing to build. But I mean, the nice part is here, I hope that you as a promoter also like get in their ear before they do like the promotional standoffs during BJJ Woodstock. And you go, hey man, it'd be nicer if you were wearing leopard print. I'm just saying, you know, like it'd be cool. I'm just saying, you guys do that.
Put some things in their ear to make it a little more exciting and less awkward and weird.
Because that's the hardest part is I always tell the guys, I go, just whatever your personality is, just be that. Like I've seen Keith smile at people, and that's how Keith is. I've seen Keith go super like, I'm not gonna look at you and just be stone faced, and that's him too, depending on the day. Like whatever your personality is, it's also an extra opportunity for you to show off. So that is one thing to Emil's credit, is that he is showing off his personality. As weird as it is, like that's him.
Well, you know, if it was me, we would have one communal pair of leopard print panties that everybody had to wear.
Oh my god!
Just hand them. You got to take them off. Oh, imagine being the last person.
Oh. Well, I'm glad about that, and tickets seem to be going pretty well. I saw the tickets that you put up there, man. I want to see if I can grab that in a second. Is that on your Instagram?
Yeah, it should be.
Okay.
It's a picture of Keith in battle, actually, from our show
I just want
last
to
year.
give credit over to our good friend Mike John. Mike John, here's the thing. I love giving that dude shit so much, but that Dragon Sleeper he yesterday was money, and we'll show that in a second if I can pull that up.
Oh, you
I
can.
want to see that.
That came on quick.
Yeah.
Bro, I train with Mike John. He's a beast, dude. He's a really good competitor. So I was really proud of him for pulling that off. But let's look at this. Look at these fucking professional grade tickets you got here, my friend.
Shout out to Ashan. That's my man. He's the GOAT designer.
It looks really cool. Like, and the coloring of it, like, I know that that's what you've been running with, but it almost makes me feel like I'm about to go to Jurassic Park too.
Hell yeah. That's a good thing to be associated with. But,
Absolutely.
but yeah, the event's awesome. It's coming together really well. Tickets are doing really well, but the tournament during the day is insane. I can't believe how many people have registered for the tournament during the day. So
Hell yeah.
We might have to rent out like 2 or 3 gyms within this venue in order to put it on and be able to like keep people, from not being completely like packed all in one gym. But if that's what we got to do, that's what we'll do.
While we're still on your page, though, I want to show this. What have you been doing? Have you been going to other gyms? Because like I haven't seen what these videos are, but tell me about it since I have your time now.
Yeah, so I can kind of give you a run through of what we're working on, but we're working on like a subscription-based streaming site, and what we're going to do is we're going to travel to gyms around the Midwest, and we're going to like highlight the gyms, talk to the gym owners, put together like promotional videos for their gyms. A lot of the gyms here in Iowa just don't do a good job of marketing themselves. So we're going to kind of do it for them and then give them a chance to pay us if they want to, obviously. But we're going to go out there, just film everything that's going on, especially ahead of events, talking with anybody that's competing on the card and things like that, just to do all that extra promo and really give jiu-jitsu the media attention that it deserves. But then later in the year, we've kind of got a project that we're going to do. Any of the first and second place finishers from the open tournament, we're going to have a second chance show. So we're going to be traveling to different gyms every weekend to do a show. And we'll just put on basically, rematches of the finals matches that happened at our open tournaments. Give some of these, blue belts and purple belts a chance to get their names out there on our streamed product, and then hopefully get those guys built up so that they can be on our shows.
Good for you, kid. Now I'm going to kick you off while we talk shit about you. So let's go ahead and talk about this. Josh,
What's up?
Okay, can we talk about Jordan for a second though?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, okay. Great.
Because like, here's the thing, dude. I don't want to say this in front of him. That's why I kicked him off for a second.
That's kidding all.
But like,
that's
look, like, bro, how molestery does he look in this photo?
Bro, dude, it's kind of Magnum PI, but it's also kind of like Joe Biden.
Like, I don't like. We love Jordan. We really do appreciate this kid. But like, this is a guy that you don't give your kids. 100%, you do not leave him there. And I know that he teaches kids, so I don't want to ruin his brand. Anyway, I'm going to bring him back on. I just want to make sure, Jordan. We were saying lovely things about you. So
okay.
While we go,
hey Jordan, can you tell me about your stock in Wayfair?
Shut the fuck up.
Okay, you know what? I said enough on the joke side. I think that's the one that hits the internet where it becomes a rumor, and this poor kid has to live with that. So we're not going to do any more jokes on that. What I will show you is Mike John's Dragon Sleeper, which I was very, very pleased to see. So I'm going to pull that up. That's on yours, right, Josh?
Yeah, that's on mine. Yeah, mine.
Because I mean, like I said, I train with him. He's a tough role to begin with. But I hit him up as soon as I saw this. Even though I was on air, I saw it on my newsfeed. I said, damn, dude, that was impressive. And you're not an impressive person. So here we go. Check this out. If you guys can see this on air, I mean, this is reminiscent of what he likes to do, but this control from north-south that he gets here, watch what happens. Oh, just impressively done there. So
now I don't know
talk me
if you
through
guys see it as choppy. My feed wasn't choppy. That's just the program here. Okay, so you can go see it very nicely on my Instagram, Starlight BJJ. Dude, I freaked out because I almost didn't let people do that technique in the show. Like 2 weeks before, somebody was asking me about it. I'm like, bro, that's like the meanest move in jiu-jitsu, and it scares the shit out of me because someone will break their neck one day. And I legit thought about like just making that the only technique you couldn't do, and I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad I fucking sacked up and I was like, you know what, these guys are pros. Let them break their necks.
Was he in on that conversation?
No, this was like 2 weeks before.
Okay.
I was about to say, I was like, if I know anything about Mike John is he really won't pay attention to anything other than what can I do? What am I doing? All right, I'm just gonna goon it anyway. No big deal. It's fine. But I mean, dude, what a great clip for him, and what a great clip for you. So super happy for everybody involved on that one. But normally I don't give him any props, but yesterday I actually sent him a note right then and there. And then I sent him a note that followed afterward that said, I know that you paid him off. So, you know, we'll call him Zay right there.
Oh, let's talk about some good news. Joe Bays donated his purse money to the Angie Divine Cancer Fund like a fucking savage and great human being that he is.
That's awesome.
And tell us what that charity is.
So, all right, it's not a charity; it's a GoFundMe. Sorry, that was that seminar that I taught a couple weeks ago at Brunswick Divine Jiu-Jitsu in Brunswick, Georgia. The head coach's wife, Angie Divine, came down with cancer, so they raised a whole bunch of money, and I'm coming back through trying to help out a little bit, and we're doing good, man. We raised some fucking serious money. So, here's to Joe and making him known as the nice guy in the world that he really is.
That's very nice. Cheers to him, man.
I don't have anything in here.
I don't either.
Rap, you alcoholic.
Yeah, I know. You know what's even weirder is if I am doing the solo, it always is great where I go, yeah, I'm drinking by myself again now. So it's different because when you're drinking by yourself at home and you're not broadcasting it, I think that's not alcoholism. But if you broadcast it and you're doing it by yourself, that might actually constitute alcoholism.
So, Ralph, I have a question for you.
Yes, go ahead.
I couldn't even get through it.
Well, here's the thing. I'll reveal to you this very important fact, which is my dad's name's Ralph. So, as a result, I do respond to it where I go, yes. Like, you'll see the look on my face, which is very, because I get that a bit.
I couldn't even do it. God, fucking sleep deprivation is like a better drug than, like
Dude,
some loopy ass shit. I don't know.
I did our last subspectrum, or no, 2 subspectrums ago, like March of 2019. I was basically up for like 70 hours straight, and
Nice.
like I was completely delirious. Almost crashed the U-Haul on the way home that night. And there's a picture of me like face down. I made it 2 steps from my bed, and I face planted on the floor, like just out of complete exhaustion. And my brother took a picture of me.
Yeah, promoting's not easy, man. People say they want to
No.
do that shit, and then they're like, nah, bitch.
Well, especially this one coming up. It's a 3-day event, so I'm probably going to be pretty low on sleep. But I do have to say, like, as far as preparation goes, we are like way further ahead than we've ever been leading up to an event. Like, I have a lot more peace of mind just because the registrations and the tickets are doing so well, like this far out from the event, that I'm feeling good about it. So that'll be a fun weekend.
I'm really excited to see all my fans at the event, the fans of my podcast, the fans of this podcast that I co-host. And, maybe if Raph gets off his lazy ass in California and takes a flight out to the middle of nowhere, we can have a beer together.
I'm not opposed to ever having a beer with you guys in person. It probably won't be this one around. No, like, what am I going to do? Not drink with you? If you guys have a beer and I am not on air, aka, like, one of the things I'm saying, I usually am covering combat jiu-jitsu, EBI. I would have covered this if it was out here in California. But now that I'm not covering this one live, guess who gets to have beer? Because I try to be a professional when I go to these things. But if I was not, well, I know that's pretty apparent. You didn't need to fill in that blank for people. I would also like to point out there's been 30 minutes of goddamn nothing.
I know. What the fuck?
It has to do something with Fight Pass. I'm sure they're probably like, you got to make it at least a 2-hour show and all this
Dude,
stuff.
talk about fucking event flow. Like, Jesus Christ, I want to be in and out. I ran fucking 3 divisions yesterday and a super fight in like 3 hours. Come on, motherfuckers. I'll do this.
Well, I get a competitor too. Like they roll for 30 seconds in a specific position, and then they got to sit around for an hour, at least an hour. For like guys like Spencer and Elias and all the other guys.
I mean, Spencer's coming up first at bat on this, and he's going to be taking on one Elias Anderson. So I get it, like, to be that cold for this long. Feels a little weird. It's not unusual for combat because there is usually this death that happens. But for the very least, Jesus Christ, we could be moving this along faster. We could be done here tonight super early if they just keep this going.
It's not like they're exhausted or anything.
I know.
Good googly moogly, folks.
Hey, here's a good reminder. If you guys are watching and you give us a like and a share on our Facebook, we will give you a toast on air like we do for the people who get submissions. So that is a reminder to you guys.
How about we do this? For the next 3 people that share this, I will personally talk shit about you for 30 seconds.
Oh, that's interesting. I don't know how much it's going to encourage people to share. Hey, you know what? Gabe Iacovino gave one. So why don't you talk shit about him?
Nah, I like Gabe.
Oh, boo.
Gabe's in one of those weird positions where I know him, but I don't know him well enough to like swing below the belt. You know what I'm saying?
Well, why don't you give him a nice cheers then? Gabe?
Gabe, you're a gentleman, a scholar. You always support what I do. I appreciate you.
Cheers.
I guess that rhymed. I didn't mean to do that.
This one's also going to come on out. We have a cheers in order. I just saw this one go up. Before we go to the next round, let me see. I think it was Scott that gave us a share right now.
Oh, can I talk shit about him?
Yeah, go for it, dude.
All right, Scott fucked up our audio yesterday on the stream. So if you guys are having problems with the audio, it's fucking Scott's problem.
Cheers. Congrats to you, Scott. All right. So they're going over on the left and the right sides of the bracket is what they're showing right now. This is Brandon and TJ. Both folks are there. I'm also combing to make sure we are not missing any comments on either of these sides. So if I do, my apologies, but thank you very much, Scott, for giving us a share. We appreciate you, even if other people don't appreciate you.
Scott, you're fat. Nobody likes you. Boom, roasted.
Damn.
Dude, Christopher Rodriguez just wrote, fucking Scott.
Yeah, that's my boy, Chris. Chris, you're also fat, but everybody likes you. Boom, roasted.
Let me go ahead and see this. Okay, so...
Oh, and he had the Rona. Boom, roasted.
We should be up in a second. They've got the stage that they're just showing on a camera. Nobody's going to do anything.
So when is the Danielle Grace match?
Great question. That's a regular match.
Yeah, but when?
I would assume that's right before finals.
Oh.
Well, don't forget there's also Burchak.
Burchak got a match. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think it's a jiu-jitsu overtime match.
Yep, it is.
What?
Yeah, they're all over the place with this one.
Okay.
So
Josh,
yeah,
what's your favorite kind of beer?
Josh.
Oh, there's my Hobbit.
Josh, Jordan was asking you what your favorite kind of beer is.
My favorite kind of beer. Do I want to get drunk or do I want to get hydrated? Bro, I'll drink fucking natty.
Weekend at BJJ.
Listen, just get natty light because I don't want to get too trashed. All right?
Okay.
I want to save you some money and I don't want to get too trashed.
Fair enough. Sounds good.
All right, we're starting off, and on this one, Elias is taking the back to begin, and we begin the top of overtime when Edgy Braj steps away. Here we go.
Eddie definitely put on that COVID-19.
Oh, my God.
Twister hook here.
Elias is starting to lose the position, try to transition over to an armbar, loses it. So now Spencer is going to get the opportunity to respond in kind.
There you go, boo.
If he wins this, though, you have to make sure he doesn't quit, right?
I messaged him. I'm like, bro, what happens if you win? He's like, retire on top, baby. I'm like, okay, I guess.
God. Is this on top? Because to me, this is like a weird subset rules that I don't know that I would think like I'm king of the world.
I mean, Spencer's very self-actualized, I think is the word here. So I don't think that's what he would think. But, yeah, might as well go out with a bang.
Well, let's speak on this bang. He's on a very good armbar. This is the same armbar technique that he was essentially using on Frank Rosenthal. So he's very patient, and he's shown that earlier this evening.
So Spencer, I'm pretty sure, won all his MMA fights by armbar. So he's no slouch when it comes to this position.
How many MMA fights has he had?
He's had more than 10.
Damn. I remember the match I had with him. He was just all over my legs the whole time.
You had a match with Spencer?
Yeah, he was in a 170 tournament. I did up in St. Paul, and he was in it. And we met in the second round. We met in the second round, and I ended up finishing him by heel hook. But he was all over my legs for like 6 or 7 minutes in that match.
Now, credit to Elias. Elias does pull his arm out, but I think that Spencer is going to have the advantage on the ride time in that first round.
Yeah. There was some good riding there. I like how his hair's getting shaggy, too. Looking good, Spencer.
Did you see Keith? Keith's got a mop on him.
Yeah.
Oh,
Keith?
no. This is from Scott Weaver, who wrote, "Don't make me roast your co-host on how amateur he is at running an event."
Oh, Jesus.
Yikes.
Scott.
Let's go ahead and talk about Elias's feet right now and their position for this armbar. Spencer doing a nice job of bringing his own legs around, which allows him to get out.
So after this match, remind me to tell you guys about the time Scott passed out.
Okay. Well, I'm going to make a note of it right now.
Do it. Do it.
All right. We now go to Spencer getting an attack off of the back. He's starting with a little bit of a friendly grip that I think Eddie is correcting around. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. So there is that as they now are going into it. And you're seeing right up top, Elias trying to address the legs.
Good head position here by Spencer.
And there is not a full body triangle just yet.
Of course not. He's super short.
Okay. Well, listen, dude. We all have to work with the tools that we are given. He is not a tall human being, my friend.
By the way, that's my rash guard, guys.
We know that, dude. We're fully aware. I got one of the photos of that at Combat Jiu-Jitsu, and I literally had to do a double take of, do I post this so that I give you free promotion, or do I hold it because...
Wait, did you take the picture of it?
I took one of the photos of it, yeah.
Okay, well, you didn't tag me because the only one I got was from Blanca.
Yeah, I know. And that's the whole thing is I'm always like, it's weird because I don't mind you. We're friends. But some of these guys, I don't mind you. That's an honest assessment. But some of these guys who would use that as a promotional thing is like, oh, hey, are you going to cut me in on that? Because you've now used it to promote a product. So it's a little different than just buying a photo.
I get you.
But if you had used it, I would have just given you shit on it.
Hey, bro, I would have cut you in, motherfucker.
That's what I'm saying. And I would have trusted you to at least have been like, hey, I just sent you a fucking rash guard. I would have been like, all right, fine.
It's not how I roll, Raph. I'd pay my debts.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I don't know. I mean, the hard part is trying to figure out how much your rash guard is worth versus my photo is a real battle, I think, for the courts out this way.
The jiu-jitsu courts, the court of public opinion.
Especially once they're like, wait, how much money are you guys both not making on this? We aren't even listening to it. I got this note, and it says, Danny said it's right before the final, so I think that's what they're addressing in terms of the match. And then Gabe is saying, LOL, boo. It's okay, Josh. You can talk shit. Anything you were to say, I'm pretty sure I've heard worse from Matt. Now, this should get pretty exciting because after this, guys, we're already going to be at seeing, I believe it is Mike Davila versus one Ethan Cronston. So that'll be interesting.
Oh, wow. That'll be good.
I always want to call him Davia because Brown. So it gets very confusing to me.
It's all right. When I first met Mike Padilla, I was like, how do I say your name? Because you're kind of tan, dude.
That's a fair assessment. I mean, Elias is being very careful on every step he takes to go and get himself out of danger. Spencer keeps positioning and sliding underneath, and unfortunately does not get the sub here. So now it's going to come down to whoever had the ride time on.
No, I believe that there was a sub here.
Oh, who ended up getting the sub? My apologies.
Elias in the first round.
Elias. Yeah.
Elias got it. Okay.
It's all right, Spence. You still rock that rash guard and tapped out a really good guy with 0 training.
So let's go ahead and give an acknowledgement real quick. Let's do a quick cheers for one Elias here. So, Jordan, I'll let you take this one.
Elias, I know I talked shit about you and said that the only reason you won in the first round was because you were bigger. And that was the case once again. Elias is just gonna he's gonna be like, fuck this Jordan Jitsu guy.
No shit. Here's the nice part, though. We don't normally get heel Jordan because I'm predicated when we finally get the opportunity to do like a WWE BJJ skit that I'm gonna have to be the heel. But that was my first glimpse at you actually being a bad guy there, sir.
It can come out sometimes.
It's not bad. It's not bad. But you have to understand, when I saw you and I'm like, there's no way you're going to out heel my work. So I was like, I just have to be the bad guy when we do our skit.
I can't wait for that.
Oh, it's going to be really fun. And the good news is you can actually do some moves. Because the hardest thing I always have to figure out whenever we do these sketches is I always look at the person. I go, how much do you know about pro wrestling? And they go, not much. And I go, oh, fuck, I don't want to hurt you, dude. Like, this is, this is not good. I was like, I saw you doing Swanton bombs. And I was like, he's fine.
Yep, I'll be good. And it'll be great. We since we won't be able to do it at BJJ Woodstock, we'll do it at Chokechella.
Wait a minute.
Coming. Spring 2021. Chokechella, spring 2021.
I need a minute. How long have you been sitting on fucking Chokechella? Because
Ever since, I have to give props, ever since Kevin Bradley sent me a DM about it.
Chokechella is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. And yet, absolutely.
You ready for a worse one? Bolaroo.
Bolaroo is pretty good. Ooh, Chokechella, though. That's fantastic. That's the work that should be done by everybody here. Hey, what's up, Jeremiah? What's up, Dylan, D-Boy Massington? Good to see you guys joining. If you like what you see, give us a like and a share. We give you a cheers. We bust your balls. It's all good fun here. We are enjoying Jiu-Jitsu Overtime, the world's first Jiu-Jitsu game show, and we're glad that you're joining us right now.
I like me some D-Boy, even though he competes at the lady weights.
Oof.
No, that wasn't an oof. That was a fact.
It is a oof.
I said I like D-Boy. He's just competing at lady weights.
Okay. Well, I like the fact that you're trying to hashtag lady weights, which, by the way, would make an interesting shirt. But I don't know that would go well on a couple headlines in the jiu-jitsu community. But you know what will go well? You got Davila and Krellinston coming up right now, and you're seeing, if I am not mistaken over this way, the first at bat belongs to Davila. No, that's Krellinston, yeah?
Yes, indeed.
Okay.
You're mixing up your foreigners.
I mean, the hard part is,
foreigners.
Did you guys see how jacked Krellinston looked before this event, though?
Oh, yeah. Krellinston's getting thick, man.
Good
He's
for
quarantining with Gordon.
Yeah. No, I get it.
Yeah.
I'm amazed he makes 145, though. He must be shorter than I think he is.
No, he's tall, man. He's tall.
Really? Okay.
First time I rolled with him, he triangled me like 30 times.
I believe it.
Nobody triangles me.
I mean, it seems like a fruitless venture.
Dan Martinez and Ethan Krellinston. That's it.
Not a bad list.
Though right now, Krellinston looks like he is slowly starting to get the grip, and you are seeing Mike get a little more comfortable, and he does tap. So that is the top of the first. We go to the bottom of the first. Now we're going to get an opportunity for Mike to go ahead and try and respond. He will have some time. That is the good news for him on this one.
My real question here is, after this round, are we doing another 30-minute commercial break?
I sure as fuck hope not.
No, you know what? On this time, maybe it's going to be the fact they'll do a set of commercials, but that they'll come back quicker, because that was a whole one that was like a toast and an ode to their last combat jiu-jitsu. So I would assume that the super fights will help them on this one. However, look at this though.
Nice attempt.
I'm appreciating this. You were seeing Krellston try and swim a little bit more than he normally would out of this.
Yeah, if I was to be doing this game show against Krellston, I'd be on that arm the whole time because Jam had success with him there, and I believe someone else. I'm trying to remember now.
I mean, again, you're working against the clock here, but it's not like you're out of the woods entirely. And Krellston manages to get out. Well done.
I like how he used his legs in that position.
Yeah,
I do too.
nice.
I wish I could, man. That was great.
Yeah, he's a big old tall boy. Those fucking Canadians coming down to the US of A taking our money.
So the next round is going to be Anderson versus. Oh, I put semifinals on these. This is not the semifinal. Oops. No,
Next up, we should have Keith, right?
Yep. Next it's going to be Keith versus Battle.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
That's going to be a fun one.
I'm actually going to put numbers on these now.
That one actually makes me really interested because it'll be interesting to see how Keith deals with the length of Battle, just because I know he's dealt with that kind of shit before. I just like to see his approach.
Well, also, they're used to competing against each other just in regular forms of competition. So it'll be interesting to see how this one goes.
B-Max miming some shit. I like how they have that TV screen covering their stomachs.
Bro,
I'm gonna start doing that.
It's been bugging me this whole telecast because I want to say get that fucking out of any part of that frame, and then I realized they're doing what they do on sitcoms and on TV shows when one of the ladies is pregnant, where they just kind of like conveniently put up. They're like, "I'm holding a laundry basket. I gotta get out of this frame." Though I would do the same because right now, Corona weight be tripping.
Feeling pretty thick myself.
Not me.
Thick fit.
Oh, shut up, dude. No one asked you, Jordan. Jordan, we know that you're in shape. You're the most in shape of the people on this podcast.
Jake, when Jake's here.
Well, I mean, Jake is
Okay,
slowly losing his status as an honorary member of the Justice League here because we have not seen him. He's out busy getting tattoos. I don't even know that he likes jiu-jitsu overtime, so I think he's skipping this one entirely for that basis.
Yeah, he's just out there trying to get swole. He said he's not competing again until BJJ Woodstock, trying to put on a little bit of weight to match up to Matt Layton for our current.
He's got a fucking bird chest.
Call him a bird chest.
A bird chest.
I just like the fact that he's going to be the commentary team or one half of the commentary team. So when he competes, is it just going to be?
You mean he's going to be 1/3?
Co-host, or is it going to be like Josh is going to step in? Or are you going to step in? Who's going to do the commentary when he's competing?
There'll be other people. What we're going to do is we're going to bring like some of the winners on, like rotating guests. When they win, they'll come on for a couple of minutes and talk. Josh will be there, obviously. If Kevin's there, I would definitely like to have Kevin at the commentary table. I think he'd do a great job if he's going to end up coming out. So there'll definitely be options. I won't be able to join the commentary table. I'll have a pretty important job.
Oof. Keith is already like a madman on this, and you're seeing Battle do his best to try and position his arms to be a little bit more defensive here. But Keith is now starting to slowly put his arm through and just kind of like that really aggressive pull through. He does have a solid attempt here. I wouldn't be surprised if Battle taps, and he does.
So in regards to the commentary at Jiu-Jitsu Woodstock, Kevin and I are going to bring our own podcasting equipment. We're going to run Matt's side, and we're going to go ahead and do a fight companion because nobody wants to listen to those idiots, Bird Chest and his partner. So they're going to have one screen of Jiu-Jitsu Woodstock. The other screen is going to be us in their ear.
I like that you're referring to him as a bird chest. It's reminiscent of Always Sunny in Philadelphia when they call D a bird. So I appreciate that. Hey, man, Battle, he's working overtime here. He's putting Keith in some pressure, and I like the fact that Keith is working very quickly to try and get out. Now he is flattened out. This is not a great place to be, but he's going to ride and exceed the time. So that means that Keith is going to advance. So we are potentially getting closer to the Keith versus Ethan prediction that I would assume is on most people's bingo cards.
You know, I kind of want somebody to do a meme of Keith as Krusty the Clown.
I'm not going to make fun of Keith's hair because Keith knows where to find me. I'll make fun of a lot of things about Keith, but I will say the COVID.
Aww.
Yeah, I'll say this. Like, the COVID times have done weird things to people's physical appearance, including their hair.
So we got one more in the, what is this, quarters?
Yep.
Cool.
And the next one on the corners is going to be one Courier versus Alfonso.
Is that how you spell Alfonso?
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Probably not.
What is Q?
Quarters.
Finals.
Ah, look at you. Speaking of Q, did you see what Quentin is doing now?
What is that?
Catch wrestling?
He's doing some catch wrestling.
Yeah, so talk to me about that, dude, because I saw that one come up for the catch wrestling championship, and I know that people have always interesting opinions on that as a subset of both jiu-jitsu and wrestling.
Well, the fan base is completely retarded.
Okay.
The rule set itself is awesome. But if you go on the Catch Wrestling forum, you see nothing but fucking nose breathers or mouth breathers, whatever, what I'm talking about. A bunch of people that live in their mother's basements. And I just go on there to troll now. So, like, the whole commentary of these matches, like, we're going to do, like, good commentary, but it's going to be like, oh, look, two guys that are actually competing and training. That's cool. Hey, if you're in the comment section, you see somebody who looks like they're fucking sniffing Cheeto dust off their fingers, go ahead and tell them to fuck off.
God.
You bringing Matt back for that one?
Oh, hell yeah. Matt is going to be on. Listen, I was thinking during it that I was going to be like, you know what, this is probably the last time Matt does commentary. But then everyone was fucking loving it. So I'm like, all right, Matt's going to be here all the time now. I'm probably going to limit the amount he can drink, though. And that's about it.
So he's not burping?
Yeah, exactly. That's something we got to fix. I don't care about the hookers and blow, but, no burping in the mic. We're not savages.
I'm getting a note here that says from a friend, I believe this is something that jiu-jitsu overtime is entertaining. They're not dead. I'm thinking the 40-minute plus potential to win the old EBI format was pretty excessive. Even championship UFC is only 25 minutes. Yeah, sure. I mean, it's interesting in the sense that, like, we all have a purpose here, but if I lost a jiu-jitsu overtime, I would feel absolutely nothing.
Yeah, but I mean, you're used to losing.
No, I'm not. No, I actually have national
You
champion.
lost the rights to your podcast to senior co-host and producer.
Yeah, the funniest part about any part of this is when I look at you, I just go like, yeah, prove it. Try and produce any part of this, and let's see how that goes.
I mean, I have everything I need to.
You do,
Including your
except for the
passwords.
motivation, the loss of weight, the stamina, the endurance, the intelligence. Yeah, other than that, you might be covered.
But I got the charm.
I don't even think you have the charm, my friend.
Charm and StreamYard.
I think
charm is StreamYard.
I think the beautiful part about the charm is that mostly goes to Jordan because Jordan is pretty innocuous, unless you're fucking Frank Rosenthal, and then maybe you might watch this and not enjoy it.
I don't know. Elias might hate me more than Frank after this.
Nah, I think Elias will understand. Like I
Like
said,
I hate you too.
a lot of these people who end up watching this,
Like my balls.
they'll send me notes and they'll just be like, hey guys, I appreciate what you're doing. So it's kind of nice because we get those athletes that they kind of get it. They're kind of with us, but obviously this is a very sensitive thing because people don't want to seem like they're not appreciated. But I will tell you this, going on this side right now, Courier is working on Alfonso's back and he's trying to maintain this position. I would assume he's slowly
He's
starting
on
to
his back? How far ahead of me are you?
Right now, I'm watching Alfonso work on getting out
Of his back?
Yeah, I mean Alfonso was on the defense on this one. Where are you at?
I got top of the second.
Same.
Oh shit, I'm behind then.
Oh.
Yeah,
I got bottom of the second now.
my press the live
to
button. I got bottom of the second now. I just had to
Ah,
press it.
right. Okay, cool.
Thank you for telling me that, because I would have been like, this is going amazing. It would have been like in the past. All right. Now we are once again seeing Alfonso trying to get out.
He's basically he got sucked back in.
I mean, he was essentially out, and hey, Courier scooped him back in, man.
That's what happens when you're like a 145. That was an interesting escape.
Yeah, I don't think I would ever do that myself, but hey, man, he felt strong. There was no nothing really blocking him from trying to almost reverse cartwheel his way out of it.
Hey, Jordan, are you missing a tooth?
A tooth? No.
Yeah. Oh, okay. It's just a weird shadow. Okay.
It's probably my mustache hanging down a little too far.
What a nice way of saying, hey, man, do you need to get your grill fixed, bud? Like, what's going on with your teeth over there, bud?
Well, I didn't know if you got into a fight or something. I was going to come offer some backup. I'm on my way.
No, I haven't been in a fight since probably college.
What did I call my fuck? Oh, yeah, my lip curtains. Right here.
Oh, wow. I think Pablo is going to pick it up here.
Good for Pablo. He's a good guy.
He's already, I think you got the submission there, if I'm not mistaken.
I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, that's fine. But now you're going to get the opportunity to see Courier respond, and let's see how this goes. So
send him a message, Courier.
So you're getting the note here. You're better than that joke. You're getting whoever wins this one is going to get to take on Keith Krikorian, which should be a very, very difficult thing to do.
Listen, Courier, Alfonso, I really like you both, but you're not beating Keith.
Yeah, that's
not in this rule set.
I mean, not ever, but not in this rule set either.
So we did one for Anderson. Did we do one for Krellinston?
Couldn't tell you.
All right.
Yeah, we did last round, not this round.
Well, now we got to do one for Krellinston, Krikorian, and also for Pablo Alfonso here. So I will take the next one, but I'm going to throw the first one, which is for Krellinston, over to Jordan.
Ethan Krellinston, I want to know what your diet is during quarantine because I want my body to look like yours. Cheers, Ethan Krellinston.
All I heard is Jordan wants Ethan's body.
Yes, that's the gist of it.
Here's the good news. If the microphone had cut out on any part of that, that could have been really bad news for you, Jordan. I'm going to give this one to myself. Keith Krikorian, hey, man, listen, other people on the show want to make fun of your hair. I don't. I think it's pretty good. I mean, obviously, it has a certain wigginess to it, but I think you're rocking it, dude. I think it's a nice dude. Good for you. And you know what? Don't let other people tell you that it's so ridiculous that they should make fun of it. Those people are mean. And I would say, hey, come up with better jokes. So cheers to you, Keith Krikorian.
Cheers, Keith.
All right. And this one is for Josh. Josh, give a toast over to one Pablo Alfonso.
One of the good guys in the sport, cashing checks, breaking necks.
Wow.
Didn't even say his name.
Yeah, I was about to say.
You just said his name, Pablo Alfonso. Where am I supposed to go? Pablo Alfonso, the guy you just said.
I'll tell you this much. It helps me when I'm doing the editing on the cutting of these. But instead, I got to put the clip of me throwing to you on that. So that's fine. It's fine. No one's complaining here.
Maybe if you work harder, I'll promote you to senior producer.
Josh, here's the best part of this whole joke that you're going to run into the ground is that even on your hardest day, you don't necessitate any of the work an actual producer does.
You lost man necessitate.
Yeah, it has a couple syllables that are further than your usual first grader reading capabilities. Now, here's
I don't know what lowered cognitive ability is, but
oh wow. Jordan, don't make me make fun of you next. I don't need to be roasting both of you at the same time. It would be very unfortunate.
Wait, what were you going to roast me for?
Why shouldn't I roast you? I've already made fun of the fact, like I've already called you a fucking child molester earlier in the podcast.
Yeah.
Wait, that's what you guys were saying?
That was way not fair.
So funny. Hey, so now we're going to get the answer to our question, which is how much time are they going to stall? Are they going to do another promotional package? I'd assume we get at least some kind of promotional material in a second, but we do have two special bullshit things that are supposed to come in right now. I'm very excited for the Grace Gundram Daniel Kelly match. I'm curious to see how they're going to do this exhibition jiu-jitsu overtime match when in actuality we're already seeing the jiu-jitsu exhibition right now. So it's kind of a weird thing to do. But there you have it.
Smells like failure.
Okay. Failure from who, Josh?
The people that lost. Marcelo Cohen.
I do like the fact that on the share that Jordan put up, he just goes, talk that shit, Josh Ledoux. That's pretty funny.
I wanted him to talk shit about me.
No, I like you.
But that was what I was promised when I shared.
Oh,
I heard
okay.
I was going to get 30 seconds.
All right. You know what? Fine.
All right, fine. Okay. Jordan, guess what? Your only competitive record, if any success, is at blue belt, so nobody cares.
It's fair. That wasn't 30 seconds. Come on, man.
I don't know. Yeah, that's the only thing I can pick on you for. Rap went too hard with the child molester shit.
I know. I set the bar too high. We're supposed to.
Listen, you gotta build up to like the shit that could ruin somebody's career.
Hold on, but look at that photo again, and you tell me if I was ever wrong. Because when I saw that photo, like Jordan has a shit-eating grin, and that's fine. But when you add the mustache with the shit-eating grin, it just is a little funny. And I was like, listen, I have no idea what he's doing right now, but I'm glad he's on the show. So
you went right to child molester, and you skipped past cousin fucker. Like, come on, dude.
That's Missouri. I am way too north for that.
I'm gonna be like, when you see your cousin in some cut off jeans.
I just love the fact that Jordan responds with the most appropriate response, which is, listen, you guys are in a region you don't understand. I'm like, yes, dude, we don't know Iowa. You are King Iowa. None of us understand it. So good news, everybody. We are coming back with semi-finals now, so that we don't have to fucking stall as long as we're supposed to.
I am really excited to go to Iowa because I'm probably not going to be up at sunrise, but you post some nice pictures and it looks like a beautiful place.
It's not bad. It's not bad, man. It's there's not any mountains or anything. It's pretty flat, but
is there a lot of meth?
Not as much as you would think.
Okay, cool.
But that's mostly like it's not as bad like in where I'm at, but like these little like offshoot towns that are in the middle of nowhere, there's definitely like some little meth operations.
Am I going to get screamed at to say that Black Lives Matter?
Get screamed at to say that it does? No.
I'm just trying to make a joke.
No.
Oh man.
Jordan, I'm very excited to see how things play out because you've been doing so much promotion with people who are outside of jiu-jitsu. So it was always fun to see people with their brand new eyes looking at us because we're so used to this and so many things that would be odd to civilians. We just kind of accept as normal.
So
yeah, that's Sunday Festival, which Josh will benefit from. He's doing a seminar there. Anybody that buys his DVD, by the way, you can get into a seminar for free on Sunday, August 23rd. But like, there's so many people that like from the Black Lives Matter movement and just people I've met throughout the Des Moines community that have absolutely nothing to do with jiu-jitsu. And they're like, fuck yeah, I'm going to come out and take some seminars, like come out and learn some stuff. So like, there's going to be a lot of eyes, on the people that are there that, normally wouldn't be. And that's something I'm really excited about.
So you're telling me there's going to be some civilians in my seminar and they're going to be like, what is the honey hole? And I'm like, here, let me show you how to dismember somebody. Like,
maybe not your seminar.
All right, cool.
Yeah. Hey, here's the good news that we can say so far in. Elias is putting up a pretty
he's hanging tough
against a very game Ethan Krellenston, who is a beast, especially in this format. I mean, this is what the Danaher guys do. If you ever attend any of the rules meetings, you see Danaher very quickly taking over in every single rules meeting that I have been a part of and watched. When I've done to cover these things.
Last time I was in a rules meeting, It was one of the combat jiu-jitsu ones. I'm like, okay, so where does the crotch technically start? And where can we hit? Like, are you guys planning on cheating? I'm like, if you're not cheating, you're not trying. Like, come on.
Smack the bladder.
Listen, Frank Trigg did not take kindly to that. He was the referee, and yeah, I don't know. He did not like me.
I would tell you this much, though. It is pretty funny if you had shown up with a chart and you go, hey, on this human, show me where the crotch and where I cannot hit, because if I hit the ball sack, does that count?
Better than a chart, bring a doll. Point to me where on the doll.
Jordan, if I bring a doll to you, you're going to get PTSD from being on the stand.
Fuck you.
And here's some, again, continuously, Elias has proven very game into being throughout all of this and the transition work throughout it. So did he just get the tap there?
I think he might have gotten the full 2 minutes of ride time.
Okay, because that was the question we didn't really know up top. We didn't know if it's a full 2 minute ride time or if it goes till tap. So it would assume that does expire the time, which now gives Elias the opportunity. Now, if Elias were to pull off the upset here, it would be fairly significant.
Except that nobody's watching.
Yeah, no. I mean, hey, listen, dude, we're all just trying to build this thing up.
That's the nice thing about doing this shit for free on Facebook and YouTube. You can see your numbers. Like, Facebook had like over 10,000 views when it was over. And I was like, oh, I can see my numbers. Whereas Flow Grappling, they're like, we could kind of tell you, but not really.
Oh, they won't ever share their information, dude. Like, they are so okay with telling you, like, ADCC did great. Like, great. It was great. We did huge numbers. It sold out. And you're sitting there and you go, what are those numbers?
Are we going to talk about the post in the Grappling Industries page?
We'll get to that in a second. I haven't seen it and I don't know, but I would like to ask you, and we'll do it at the intermission between this match because normally I have some sort of reference to it, but I actually don't. Now we're actually seeing on the top of the second round, Crownston getting a second crack over here, and he is looking a little bit more aggressive on Elias. I do think that he has at least around the chin, even if his body triangle is there, it gets the tap in transition as he's rolling out, and Elias takes a short beat to kind of give a little fist of frustration over here.
Nasty.
All right. What does Elias need to do? Do you go back? Do you go spiderweb on this one, Josh?
I would stop stalling.
Well, here's the thing. He's only got a second here. There's not much time on that ride time that he has to make an impact on this very, very, very quick turnaround.
I don't think this is the move. And look how far hunched over Ethan. Yeah, he sucks him back in. Smart. Good. That's a veteran play there. And he let him go back farther. Jesus Christ. Ooh.
At the very least, he is making Ethan's night a little uncomfortable, but it does look like Ethan's already out of it.
Yeah, so that's what I would have done, right for the nose.
Ethan is going to advance to the finals. Congratulations to him.
Good work, Mr. Crownston. So, in the Grappling Industries page, we were given some information that apparently Hywel Teague is trying to sell the rights to his Red Belt documentary for someone else to finish it.
Jesus.
Fuck. Yeah, I 100% didn't see that one.
Yeah.
Let's bring it up. Bring it up, Jamie.
I'm the Jamie. I'm both the Joe Rogan and the Jamie, so I'm not.
Don't even start with that rap. If anyone's the Joe, it's Jordan.
I mean,
you were gonna say yourself.
No, I'm about to Joey Diaz.
He normally puts himself over, so you're not wrong on that one. I would tell you this though. I would tell you this though, Jordan. You definitely do enough drugs to necessitate that you would be the Joe Rogan of the podcast. So on that qualifier alone, you would 100% supersede me.
Can we clarify that by drugs he means marijuana? Okay, how does it?
I mean, I don't know your deal, dude. I put it as a blanket statement. Yeah,
definitely
sure.
Not meth. So we know he stays away from that.
No, none of that. No,
exactly.
Though if you did do meth, it would help you cut some weight before a match. I'm just saying. I'm not saying you should do it. I'm just saying it could happen.
Could happen for sure.
Okay, so you're telling me that Hal Teague is now at the point where he's
I'm not telling you. Go to the post. I'm just the messenger. I'm on team fuck Howell anyways.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, fuck that guy. Not as much as who's that other motherfucker? Ricardo. Fuck Ricardo Amendolia even more. Like Howell, like you're a piece of shit, but you can like rebound. Ricardo, you're a lifelong piece of shit.
I guess I should look and see this post. All right.
Yeah. See for yourself.
What you doing?
Pablo
I'm just
Alfonso.
laughing because these are the things that I like don't see, and that for the most part I have a pretty good ear to the ground. But every once in a while there's a story that I go, I'm sorry, what?
Pablo is looking a little thicker.
Boogie was just out here like yesterday. Yeah, he did a seminar out in Omaha.
Oh, Boogie?
Yeah,
Really?
just about 2 hours away from here.
I fucking love Boogie.
He's a good dude. He's always taking good care of me. I work competing on like Ultimate Mat Warriors and just like visiting his gym. He's just always been like a good, not I wouldn't say mentor, but just like a, you know, an overlying voice for me.
I drove him around the Tampa Bay area in a U-Haul, and he refused to take any other mode of transportation besides the U-Haul. And then I walked around a mall with him for like a couple hours before his flight, and it was good times.
So Keith is taking his time here. I don't like to say things as absolute as he looks safe, but he is definitely being very cautious about the grip of one Pablo Alfonso. And for a split second, Keith let his arm stay a little bit longer in than I would like to stay, but he's pretty safe, all things considered.
He's like, "You're not Frank Mir. You can't break my forearm."
And more importantly, it's once Keith is like extended standing up that grip and that fulcrum is a little bit gone. So kudos to him on that. Now we go to the bottom of the first. Keith getting his at-bat at being offensive. Let's see how this goes.
So did we miss Burchak, or is he going to come up next? Because like we're coming up on the finals.
I would assume that's what happens in between the break.
Oh, this is over.
Some time. Yeah, Alfonso did not waste any time saying, hey, Keith Corhan, you should probably go face one Ethan Krellinston in the finals like everybody had predicted.
Interesting match for sure to come.
Whoosh. Well, I definitely texted that to somebody yesterday and said, is this the finals we're going to see? And they did not give me a committal yes or no, but I don't know that I was any different than the majority of people who saw this rule set, these competitors, and said, man, Keith and Ethan.
So now we have – wait, Ethan doesn't have any DVDs out. Okay, never mind. Keith's just going to, basically promote his DVD with this highlight reel, which is eBay Overtime, mastering eBay Overtime or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's going to be the face of Jiu-Jitsu OT. If he wins this, and then he's got a DVD out on specifically how to win in this rule set.
It's interesting because, Krellinston is really good at control. And let's think about the possibilities here. I know that they've, had rendezvous before, but I would say to you this. If anything happens here one way or another, I think that you have justification to say, I'd like to see that match in full.
Yeah, I'd like to see it an EBI rule set in full because I'm not sure if they've done that. I know they've done the trials, and I think that might be it. I don't know. Maybe like a long time ago they had a match, but what I'm really curious to see is how the back game of Krellinston has adapted over the years because he used to kind of have a hard time with guys who were a little bit smaller than him because like Kallenstein beat him in overtime once. A couple of the guys had really quick escapes, and Ethan didn't really seem to be able to control the hips of those guys. And Keith has a very similar build to those guys, so we'll see how this goes.
Do you see how lost Eddie Bravo is just walking in the shot of the background?
Yeah. Here's Burchak.
All right, Burchak versus Salcido coming up right now.
Anybody know Salcido's from? I don't know anything about him.
Nope, but I know where he's going. The losers bracket.
All right. Adding that on right now. Here is your first special match.
Ultimate rear naked choke shootout.
So still so weird to hear.
Well, and that's kind of a weird thing to say because I mean it could be an armbar shootout. You could get a triangle.
Exactly.
You could get a handful of different submissions from the back of the armbar position.
I
I actually thought that one of Josh's referees did a really good job yesterday. There was a guy that was falling off the back and he transitioned to a triangle right away, and the referee kept it going. And you could see there were some people in the crowd that were trying to give him shit for it, and you stuck up for him. And I was like, no, that's a good call right there.
Fucking Joe is like the best. He's a black belt, but he was like a national championship level softball umpire. So he's used to like coaches in his face screaming at him. So nothing fucking breaks him. He's ref $10,000 bet matches, $10,000 tournaments. He's like over the years, I'm sure he's refed more than $100,000 worth of prize money. Like he's been around for a minute.
Yeah. What is it about like baseball and softball where the fucking coaches and umpires get into it so much?
I fucking love it, dude. Like, I don't know. You know me and referees, we don't really get along.
Don't get into it with my referees.
Nah, I don't really have anyone on there.
We have good referees. I don't think there'll be any problems.
Yeah, and I don't have anyone that I'm going to be like cheering for. I'm going to be cheering for who's the guy that Jake's going against?
Matt Layton.
That one. I'm going to cheer for him.
He's a good guy as well too. He's donating his purse, his ticket sales, and everything he gets for his seminar as well. I'm not sure exactly where he's donating it yet, but he's donating every single dollar he makes from the event. So shout out to Matt Layton for being one of the good guys of the sport.
I'm going to donate all my stuff too to my child.
Well, Burchak is working off of the back so far on Salcido, and it does look like Salcido is patiently trying to get out, but he is, I would say, struggling a little bit with Burchak, who seems very at ease.
Ooh, it's going in now. Yeah, this is over, man. Burchak's been staying in really good shape because I think he's hoping for a call back from the UFC because with all the shit that's going on right now, like they need the guys. Yeah, over.
Yep. Well, now he's going to get an opportunity to go and attack Burchak from the back, but that's going to be a tough order, dude.
It's not going to happen. I told you, Salcido's going to the losers bracket. Damn, I have 1,700 missed messages on fucking WhatsApp.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I don't communicate with anybody on there. That's the I talk to my designer on there, and that's it. Then I get fucking messages like you do from the Pakistani gi producers.
I don't know how they found that number.
I don't get it either. But all of our data is being sold.
Yep.
And then resold. And I haven't gotten my data check yet.
Well, here's the sad news on this one. Salcido is looking pretty content with control rather than the submission here, which is not quite the move when you have been submitted.
Does he understand the rules?
I don't know, bud. That's a good question.
This is like that next level. So like a lot of people will stall till overtime so they can be like, well, I lost in overtime. This guy's like stalling in a jiu-jitsu overtime only to be like, well, you know, it was pretty close.
Wasn't my day, guys. Back to the gym.
Didn't get the results I wanted.
And Burchak just wants to dump him and be over with. You could tell for a split second he thought about being like, slam this dude on his fucking head.
Listen, guys, I'm not happy with my performance, but it is what it is. You win or you learn.
I think one of the dumbest things that I wrote this week that I really enjoyed was I put a joke about like when someone like your coach watches you and you go, yeah, you might win or learn, but I don't. I'm your coach. Fuck you.
So now we should have some Danielle Kelly, Grace Gundrum, right?
That should be coming up next, according to the laws of science.
I love this match. And I'm a huge Grace fan, but I play Call of Duty with Danny all the fucking time. So she's my girl.
Wow. Okay. Now we see where the whole allegiance is on this one. But before we go any further, let's give a quick toast to one Anthony Burchak. I'll let you take this one, Jordan.
Anthony Burchak, your opponent was stalling so that he could brag about the fact that he was close enough to beating you. I don't know where the hell I'm going with this. Congratulations, Anthony Burchett. Great finish.
Cheers.
As I'm drinking an empty glass, by the way.
I like that you guys are the people that act in a movie and go, by the way, there's nothing in this.
I am very transparent, like this glass.
I thought you were going to go somewhere else with that. All right, never mind.
Here's the good news, though. I would tell you that in the past, when Jake Watson had to reveal to us, he's like, hey, guys, I didn't actually have anything in this. And we were like, you don't have to tell me.
It's not really beer, guys. I'm cutting weight.
You know, like the whole thing is I tell people, I go, listen, I would like for everybody to be drinking because that all puts us on the same level of getting drunk as this event progresses. But I'm not trying to raise future alcoholics here. So do what you do.
I am so excited about this match.
All right. Who do you see winning it? Well, you already told us your allegiance on this one. So I'm going to take that as winning. Jordan, who do you have winning this one?
I'll take Danielle Kelly in this one as well.
You know what's funny? All the fucking 10th Planet, and dude, I got tons of 10th Planet homies, but they're all on there. It's like, Danny's got to stop taking so many pictures and train more jiu-jitsu. Like, taking 5 minutes to post a picture means you haven't trained all day. Like, come on, guys.
They're just trying to find anything they can to poke at her.
Well, keep in mind, a lot of people are at home right now. And so when they're at home, they find more excuses to find really dumb shit. Like normally if you go to work, you have to do the work in front of somebody and they see if you're on looking at these things. But now they have more time and they go, she's not training. She doesn't want it.
This is a weird match because I still think of Grace as like 10 years old and Danielle as like a grown woman. It doesn't seem like it makes sense as a match, but obviously it's going to be a great match. But in my head, until they stepped on the mat, I was like, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Danny's
holy shit, some real jiu-jitsu.
I know, right? Butterfly half guard here. Ooh, in on a leg already.
Again, there's very few nicknames that are as fitting as the silent assassin, but Grace is one of those people that has been putting in a resume. I mean, she has about as much experience as most people who end up doing an EBI or a combat jiu-jitsu event.
Yeah, she's done enough feature matches and everything on these events. Like everybody knows who she is. Like, shit.
She's been doing a lot of the finishers as well too, so she's been active recently.
I mean, so far, interesting. We don't see a clock here. I think they might have just forgotten that this one actually has some time to it and that not to just keep a stopwatch and don't tell us till the end.
You know what's interesting about this one is the fact that Danielle likes the leg locks, but Grace likes to go to the back off of leg locks.
It's a great observation there. And as you're already seeing, Danielle trying for a leg lock in, and Grace looking at an opportunity to maybe
double outside. Yep.
Double outside doesn't work.
I'm not a fan.
Fat boy's life.
What is fat boy? I hear you use that term.
I'll show you.
Okay.
I think that Jordan's just like duly noted. I'll see you at BJJ Woodstock. Thank you.
4 weeks or 5 weeks. 5 weeks now.
I mean, Jordan, are you going to get to train and do anything fun during BJJ Woodstock?
During the event? Yeah, for sure. Like Sunday, I'll be pretty much free. I won't have anything I have to do on Sunday.
It's already over.
Yep. But like Saturday, obviously, I'm going to be super busy all day. Just, I have a great crew that's going to run the tournament for me. So I always think that I'm going to have more to do. And then I get to the tournament and everything's rocking and rolling. I'm like, shit, I can actually like walk around and enjoy. But the show at night, I'll definitely be playing a big part. I'm going to be basically like technical producer on that. I'll be choosing all the shots and like switching and doing all of that. So
very nice.
I'm excited to kind of step into a different role. I've never really been on that side of things, but my videographer and my photographer said that he thought that I should be the one. So
good man. I think that's a great choice. Josh, walk me through a little bit of what you're seeing.
I'm really interested that Grace isn't re-attacking the legs. Like her leg lock defense is always on point. But there's a couple openings here for her to transition to like a 50-50 inside heel hook. But she's just very content to like scoop around, try to get to the back. And now Danny starts to lock her legs in a different position. She might be thinking about taking this across.
By the way, I did see you, Aaron Willis. You gave us a share, so I'm going to give you a cheers. And especially because you just put down, you said BJJ Woodstock is going to be fire. So to you, sir, we say thank you for your support. Thank you for your encouragement. And thank you for your share. Cheers to you, sir.
Shout out to you, Aaron Willis. I like that guy. He just got his face bit up by a dog not too long ago. So he wants to compete at BJJ Woodstock, but I'm not sure if he's going to be good to go or not. We'll see.
You're okay, man. Sorry to hear that, bud.
Yeah.
These streets be crazy, my friends.
They do indeed. What an interesting position.
And I see Zach in the corner. I fucking love me some Zach and JM.
Yeah, I got the opportunity. I watched all the finishers from last week. I saw some very fun things over on that one.
I heard a couple of the matches were pretty boring, but the other ones were pretty fire.
You know what's interesting is like what I appreciate about Zach is and I've experienced this myself, which is there's host me and there's producer me. And what's really funny about hearing Zach do the commentary is you heard those two things cross over, because if you do commentary on the microphone being like, hey man, I just want to say what this is so great, look at all this, and then you hear somebody go, hey Zach, I really would like to get a match on the next one. He's like, dude, what are you doing? Don't talk to me right now. I'm fucking on the fucking thing right now. And I just go, yeah, I've been there. That's so amazing to hear people try to ask for a match while he's on air.
People trying to fucking say bye to me. It's like, bitch, I know you're leaving. I don't care.
I mean, the hardest part is people don't know until you're on air that you are trying your best to talk about the things that are on air and not them. So, like, you always hope, like, don't take this badly, but I'll see you later.
Crowd tripper now.
She's going to have to give it up. I mean, it would be nice to see if she could take maybe the sweep from it, but instead, she's probably going to have to give into this position a little bit more and allow Danielle to work.
A lot of pressure in this lockdown.
However, Grace being resourceful, I mean, most people would have started to concede a little bit more of that position. She used it as a leverage point. Now she's letting go of it, just trying to go a little bit more to a little bit of a loose half guard and just trying to pummel the legs to see if she could potentially get a sweep here. And she should be able to come up on top. It instead seems a little more. A little IBJF 2 points for you guys.
So far, I think Danielle's been winning the regulation, but I'm really interested to see what the overtime game looks like for both these girls.
I agree. And then we're right back at jiu-jitsu overtime at jiu-jitsu.
Oh, man. I want to the overtime for this seems interesting to me, but I don't want to watch more overtime after. But, you know.
At this point, they should have an obstacle course that they have to go through before they go to overtime.
There you go.
Some of the American Gladiators with the fucking little tennis gun. They have to go through nitro before they make it all the way to their next match. Grace now starting to work on her passing.
Getting a little back exposure.
She's established her side over here. So let's see what happens. And you see very nice. Oh, we lost to Jordan.
Guess we can start talking shit about him now.
Yeah, no shit. And you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, whatever the fuck he had in the background, he
yeah,
has a lot of fucking air. Because once he was gone, I was like, the air pressure in a cabin is completely gone.
I didn't really hear it until he left.
Until he was gone. You know, your microphone works fine. My microphone works fine.
Yeah,
but whatever
we're professionals.
But his microphone is literally giving us sounds from NASA in the space.
Ooh, we have I thought that was on the arm. Grace does a really good job looking through for these crab rides. It's something I know Zach and JM have been really emphasizing a lot on their guys, but I'm too big for that shit.
Yeah, I had one person try to give me a note about Birimbolos. They're like, oh, you know, from that position, you can Birimbolo. And I was like in general, or are you saying me? Because I'm not doing that shit.
Yeah. Everyone's all like, Bolo the world. I'm like, nah. Bring back the Bolo tie. That's about it.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate part. My head is too big for a bolo tie, so I don't fucks with that. And now you're seeing Grace. I can't tell if Grace is trying to lure her into a sense of false calm here, because she just keeps giving her so many opportunities to try and like recounter or repummel for some of this.
Oh, she's got her honey hole.
Oh, on a heel hook though. But Danielle is not responding to any part of it. It's a very loose version, and I say that with all due respect, but I mean it's not a full-on heel hook per se.
Yeah, she doesn't look too worried about it. You got to have your braking mechanics on point when you're grappling women.
And here's the other thing. I mean, to her credit, Danielle Kelly is already starting to push the knee line out as best she can. Grace is still working there. Now she's concerned grabbing the wrist, and Grace is trying to use the leverage point to go ahead and see if she can get a break here. But Danielle Kelly is still not super concerned, but it's going to push the foot to break the grip, and will probably triangle here. Not quite there. Grace is now moving to the other side.
Yeah, that was the most significant attack we've seen so far. Interesting. I heard myself for a second just because, your headphones fell out.
My headphones fell, so you got the echo of yourself.
Yeah. Now we got back on top with the heavy pressure. That's one of the most dynamic things I've seen change in Grace's game is the fact that she wrestled for a little bit, man. She went to Fargo too. So you start seeing that top pressure start getting better and better too.
Well, she's also just growing up. So in addition to doing all the conditioning and the training, like there are certain levels of strength that you hit as you start to get older.
We gotta be almost at time, right?
I think it could be potentially like a minute and change.
Maybe they're like, hey, we're going to fight to the death. Or they forgot to fucking put the timer on.
I mean, this is Megan Partudo's job. So if Megan didn't do it, then
it's Megan's job. Then, she got it done then. She's on top of shit.
She's usually right then and there. And it does look like we're going to recenter them back over on the mats.
Not leaving it up to Eddie.
Try not to. Christopher Rodriguez, thank you very much for the follow. Appreciate you. Thank you very much.
It's my dude.
Good for him, man. I like that. Scott Weaver gave us a share earlier. Just to remind you guys, give us a like and a share. We give you a cheers on the air. But if you don't, then, it's not like we hate you. It's just we don't respect you. And speaking of not respecting, where the fuck did Jordan go? Oh, now we're at overtime. That's what happened there. Okay.
Good head position. I know they spend a lot of time on this at Bethlehem, but ooh, right on the smother. Yeah. Danny's a mean bitch, and I say that with the most respect. Like, goddamn. She'll thirst bitches in Call of Duty, and then she'll smother them.
The hard part about this is, if you've seen any part of Grace's resume, you know that you have to go a level up in terms of your aggression to really compensate for her ability, her technical prowess.
So Grace elects for the back. Yeah. I've literally never heard Grace say a word.
I think Grace and I have shook hands and very briefly said words to each other, but I would love to interview her.
Yeah.
I also
feel like that would be a challenge, though.
I don't know. It depends, because Zach and JM have been very clear on saying, like, she can talk. It's just, does she want to talk to you kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And the hard part is most people understand they want to sell themselves. They want to highlight who they are. Grace is all about, like, just look at my work. Like,
Grace,
you either get it or you don't. So I do respect that about her, but I just find her competition style and her intriguing. And I wonder if part of that is, well, listen, if she started to do these interviews, would she break some of that mystique?
Yeah, it's almost like the Fedor mystique. Mm-hmm. Now, Danny's not doing a good job of getting her shoulders to the mat here. Grace has very good head position, starting to, suck in, trying to get on the face and the neck and all that shit. But Danny needs to really get to that opposite side. There we go, starting to get shoulders on the mat. And she brings it right back in.
Oh, it does look like Gary Tonin is going to have a match at the next Who's Number One.
Oh, sweet. Against who?
They have a big question mark over
Oh,
who's
great.
going to
One of those. Hopefully, it's not a letdown like fucking what's his face.
Ronaldo.
Yeah, like nobody knew who the fuck that was. They were like, Gordon's gonna do a bet match against Ronaldo, and they're like, the soccer player.
Yo, bro, I would watch the soccer player though.
More people would watch the soccer player than that fucking match.
I don't know, man. It is hard to match up Gordon now, but I think they're in the perpetual machine of, well, aren't you guys excited? And I go, you know, maybe, but there's only a couple people really that I think in just the jiu-jitsu world makes sense for Gordon. You could maybe open it up to the MMA world, but you understand they're at a disadvantage with Gordon.
Yeah, but like maybe give him like fucking Bob Sapp, you know? I was thinking about making a match between Bob Sapp and Craig Jones just for the shits and giggles. And Bob was kind of interested until he saw Craig's legs.
Understandable. I think a lot of people are interested until they see how Craig demolishes legs and essentially rips them off people. Now we're at the top of the second, and we're seeing, this is a very technical match between the two, and Daniel is trying to make things uncomfortable for Grace.
She's got to keep sucking her back in. That's exactly what you got to do. Don't let Grace get her shoulders to the mat because Grace is so good at once she's flat, not getting re-sucked in. I like how she's using this cross grip here to pull her back. Now this is pretty much out.
Yeah. Grace, I think, maybe understands the position and knows she's just about home. And the hard part is this is one of the hardest areas to keep. And to her credit, Daniel keeping her there for longer than I would say most people would be able to contain that. All right, bottom of the second, Grace now gets a crack. She is going to opt again for she's going for spider web.
Well, she got 2 minutes of ride time first time, so
yeah, build up the ride time and then go for the kill. I can respect these things.
Yeah. Trying to turn in, clear that arm with her foot so that way she can start getting her elbow to the mat.
I've always been curious about how much inside intel you get in the match, because a lot of times people come with a game plan. They try to see if they can enact that game plan. They may have an idea of what they're going to do. In overtime now, Grace gets a not yet, but it's looking dicey. Danielle is able to move. It is bendy, and Grace is holding on to this arm. And
damn, Danielle, you fucking savage.
Danielle is going to be able to potentially pull her arm out in just a second. Wow. Wow. That's pretty dope. Good.
I thought that was over. Yeah. She did not want to fucking tap there.
So here's a question. If we're now at the top of the third, how close are they on times?
That was 20-ish seconds there. Then Grace hit the full 2 minutes. I got to say Danny's probably down by like at least 45 seconds to a minute.
Okay. So this is going to be very telling to see what happens here then.
She's got to really work those cross grips because Grace was having a hard time escaping with those cross grips. The minute she lost the cross grip, Grace got her head to the mat and started escaping.
Now, here it's not a body triangle yet, and I think Grace kind of knows that's the deal.
But the body triangles haven't been working for her either, so I don't know. Just keep sucking in that head because 2 minutes of ride time here and then a quick escape, and you win.
Yep.
Oh,
she has a triangle in.
Yeah.
But Grace is already out. So I guess the question is, how long does Grace have to? I think Grace is actually going to go back over for the spider web again. Grace is looking for the kill, and I respect that.
Yeah, same arm.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and
Gotta fucking move, but I don't think there's enough time.
Well, we'll see, because they will stop the match if it exceeds the amount of time, I believe. So now we're just kind of watching the remnants of Grace just trying to endure some of these not foot stomps, but the positioning of the feet to try and get some leverage to get out.
I like how Grace keeps that constant pressure on the arm.
Mm-hmm. And this is difficult because I see so many people falter in this position just because they don't do a good job of containing. They don't watch their own body position. So kudos to Grace. I mean, this is a difficult position to be in.
Yeah, you can really tell she's got a great understanding of the spider web.
Mm-hmm.
She looks like she's got some real strong legs too, because Danny can't kick up much.
Yeah. And also talk to me a little bit about that top leg. That top leg has been penduluming down so that she makes sure that she doesn't get back up.
Yeah, I think it's the most important one because if you can control the head, you can control the body. So she's controlling the far side leg and the head, which basically puts you in a pin, you know?
Mm-hmm. And that is interesting to see. I mean, Grace is literally just curled up, and now she has an arm. I mean, it's not what I would assume is 100% submission. Like, Grace is not giving up on this, as you're seeing Danielle just try to squirm her way out of her
face. She don't give a fuck.
Yeah. And here's the nice part. Most people would be out here, and Grace is still trying to bend the arm as much as he can, even though it's not 100% in the traditional realm of an armbar anymore. And Grace is not phased. Her face is just stone. Wow. And you're seeing Danielle just try to use her feet to try and disrupt any part of Grace. I mean, these are the moments that you just start to think to yourself, man, would I have taken the back? What's going to happen there? Wow. Scott Weaver says Danny is a savage.
Fucking straight up. Silent Assassin's a fucking killer too.
Absolutely.
That's a big win for Grace.
Yeah, I'm still confused as to why we let that overtime go for that long, though.
I mean, I guess when you still have control of the arm, like, that's what you got to do.
I mean, I guess, but I mean, after this, it's just like with the other matches where if you exceed the time, shouldn't we just be done? Because
yeah, I guess.
There's not really a suspense to be built whenever we've gone there and said, oh yeah, she's won. Now it's just kind of seeing like how long can she hold it?
Yeah, pretty much. So now we have the finals, and then I get some fucking sleep. I'm really excited about this one though.
Are you more excited about the finals or the sleep?
No, I'm actually really excited about this one. It's going to be nice because it's going to set up some future matches pretty nicely as well too, whatever happens here.
Mm. Who do you feel has the advantage here? Do you feel it's Krellston? Do you feel it's Keith?
It's super close. I'm going to give the advantage slightly to Keith just because I don't remember the last time I've seen him lose in UBI overtime.
Okay.
When's the last time he lost in overtime? I don't remember.
I don't know if it's overtime as much as I know it's the Danaher guys working off the back. And, Nikki and Ethan both having, I think it's rear naked choke wins over Keith. I could be wrong.
You might be right. But those are under points formats too. So that adds a different stressor to it, because you're down by points and you have to kind of make something happen to get out.
And also you're fresh when you start this as opposed to those.
Yeah. Dude, like by the slightest margins, I'm going to say Keith.
Again, this is why it's so interesting because normally you say, oh, okay, 10th Planet, they have the advantage because they run EBI overtime all the time. Danaher guys do it too.
Oh yeah, they do it a lot.
This has been their bread and butter just as much as it has been 10th Planets. So I'm a little bit on I don't know myself on this one sort of a deal.
I wouldn't be surprised if either one wins. I'd be surprised if they make it look easy though.
I mean, that would be super impressive at this stage, especially.
All right, let's stop stalling. There we go. Right to the mats. Don't cut to commercial.
No.
Oh my!
You know what the worst part is? The commercial cut right now would be the perfect opportunity for Jordan to slip his way back into this, but Jordan is nowhere to be found. So I'm sitting here thinking, like, where the fuck did he go?
He's planning his next ayahuasca trip.
And the worst part is like of all people that you could potentially lose in a broadcast, Jordan is the person that would get lost and go, there was a coyote that showed up outside my door. And I went to go play with the coyote. It was fun. Forgot I was on this.
It's a good time, man. Full moon, gotta go out there and howl at the moon a little bit.
Especially now that we know Jordan's in that very happy place. I love the fact that when I said, hey, dude, this kid does drugs, Jordan's like, no, just marijuana. And I was like, did you think I was saying you're doing hardcore meth or heroin, you dick? Like, yeah, it's still a drug as far as we're concerned, but not one that we're super worried about. We're not having an intervention for Jordan, to my knowledge.
I mean, maybe for like that stash, but that's about it.
Well, we said all that we could here, so I'm pretty sure in a court of law they would be like, Josh and Raph, they tried, man. They tried to help him.
You went hard right away, man. Like I was like, God damn, like how do I build up from here? And then I had to wait a little bit, then get it in.
And the worst part is I was like, I didn't know that we were going to use that photo until I was there, and I just go, we got some time to kill. Let's go ahead and do this. The worst part is we had fucking those 30 minutes where they're not doing shit. And I go, listen, I could understand a 10-minute break, a 15-minute break. Hey, even a 30-minute break if it's Gio competing against fucking, what's his face? John Calistine. Thank you. At EBI, what is it, 12 or 13, where I go,
last one.
This is a long amount of time that they're giving him. I can understand those things. This is a little different.
Yeah, these guys are fresh. They fucking went through the entire competition. But let's go back to Jordan for a second. So, did you notice how you could straight up call him a pedophile and he won't say anything? But the minute I was like, oh, Wayfair, his conspiracy theory brain kicked in. He's like, don't associate me with that fucking conspiracy theory.
Well, hold on. I think what it is he knows that doing the joke of like, hey, he's in on this, perfectly fine. I think he also knows, Wayfair, headline, BJJ Woodstock owner, cancel culture. That dude's done.
I don't think so.
Well, think about our dumbest fans, because our dumbest fans are really who you have to speak to.
Speaking as a dumb person.
Well, I'm telling you that they don't know much, but they might come over and be like, I don't know anything, but I saw Tom DeBlas put this thing about Wayfair, and I think I should believe it too. So I would tell you that might be something as a consideration.
I like this anti-pedophile culture we're starting to get in jiu-jitsu. It makes me feel better. Makes me feel like we're finally doing something right in jiu-jitsu. Like
the dumbest part is like, imagine being the person who's like, I'm against that. And it's like, who's going to be against that? There's no certain thing. I mean, well, we could think of a couple people, actually, now you really mentioned that. But especially a couple of people who canceled themselves by doing that. But by and large, I would tell you that most people are like, I think that unites us. I think we're all against that.
From the province of Amazonia. Mm-hmm.
Man, what a different world that was like a year and a half ago when that was like the biggest story too.
Jesus fucking Christ. Like, are we getting it now?
I think we're fine. Here we go. Did we have to do any cheerses? I'm just gonna say we're likely cheersing whoever wins this. So
Grace, Danielle, great fucking match. Cheers.
Yeah, absolutely. Cheers to them. That was a fun match. That is so far my match of the week. So cheers to them.
Match of the week? I thought you were going to say match of the night, because I was like, hey man, that's the only match that actually happened.
I mean, essentially. But yeah, we've been putting those up, and it's been pretty nice. We'll see the athletes feel appreciated, especially when sometimes they don't know that they're being watched. Because I saw a couple of finishers, and I know you mentioned that some of them were boring, but there were a couple that weren't too bad. And I was
there were some real good ones too, yeah.
But I sent notes to those people, or I tagged them, or I put something, and I said, hey man, I don't know if you know, but I was watching a match, and I was thoroughly entertained.
That John kid, John Stapleton, that was good.
Here we go. Beginning of it. I believe it's working first on Ethan Krellinston's back. So let's see how this one plays out.
Ooh, Keith, right away, Ethan's almost out.
Yeah.
Damn, Keith sucked him right back in, though.
Yeah, Keith, I mean, is going to put all of his efforts to trying to do this. He wants to avenge his loss against Ethan Krellinston.
No.
Keith sucks him back in one more again, and continues to go back and forth, oscillating between them. And now you are seeing Rollinston is out. So now Ethan is going to get the opportunity to go up against Keith on this one.
That's the best way Ethan escapes. Is he just finds a way to fling his shoulders down to the mat, and it looks super awkward, but he's just like, shoulders to the floor.
You know, I always tell people, I'm like, listen, dude, there are some times where I may advise you differently, but if you can show me that it works for you, then show me that it works.
Shit. He went back to Calistine 101. Keith studies tape, man. He remembers this match from On It.
Mm-hmm. Keith now trying to reach around the neck, and now they might have to reposition them, so they're probably going to drag them back. And this will be interesting because normally people would get a little bit of a reset of position, which kind of makes them looser. It makes it a little bit easier to get out of once they try to recreate that exact position. But here, Ethan is exactly where he left off on Keith.
Yeah, good work by Eddie and Master Vic. Damn, Ethan's looking fucking good.
Mm-hmm. Already, I would assume, is built up maybe more ride time than Keith thus far in this first period. But Keith is really, really working hard to try and get his shoulders off. So now they're going to reset to the other side. Body triangle still on. Keith addressing the arms as best he can, getting to the side. Now you're going to see Ethan trying to flatten him out. And Keith doing a great job again, almost rolls to the point where he would be out, but instead I can't see him, Vic, move. You're going to reset him back to the center again, so they're going to drag them back on over. This is a tough one. I mean, if there's anything that's going in Keith's favor, is that if they have to go ahead and let them go at the 2-minute mark. I don't know in the finals if that is the case, though.
I think it is.
I would see. What is up, Derek? Good to see you in the comment section. Okay. Well, Ethan trying for a kill shot there, getting underneath for a split second, seeing greener pastures. Keith almost trying to go belly down so that maybe he can spin and quickly get his shoulders to the ground. And now we are going to see him essentially get out. So that is a lot of ride time advantage for one Ethan Krellinson in that first period of overtime. All right. Period. Dose. Top. Keith attacking right now. Keith already, I can't see on the other side. But
right to the choking side.
Yep, on the choking side. Krellinston really doing his best not to waste any time. He is essentially already out.
Nah, still got that. Oh.
Nope. He's out.
Damn, man. So I thought Keith was going to switch the arm there real quick. He was grabbing that leg.
I think Keith kind of saw it a little bit too late. All right. Bottom of the second. Now you're seeing Krellinston get the opportunity. Keith tries for a very quick way out. He might be out, and yes, his back is against the mat. And now that's huge for Keith. That's a way to equalize it a little bit.
That means he's not dead yet. Ethan's still probably up on ride time, but that quick escape definitely helped.
And again, this is both of them still using the back control on this one. So now Keith, it's really going to come down to this because Ethan still is probably ahead on that ride time. Let's see if Keith is able to do it. He is putting his head pressure there. Ethan, for a split second, got his head on that mat. Now Keith scoops him back up, and you're seeing arms flailing all over the place. Now Keith starting to bring in that arm against, now starting to get that dirty Wagner Hocha kind of aggression over on the face. You understand that this is one of those places where if Krellinston gets out, he's essentially going to win in this time frame. So this
I don't know about it anymore, man. I think time's probably about even because Keith's escape was like seconds. And
that first period is a big difference maker. And now that Krellinston is essentially out and you're not seeing Keith stop or you're not seeing him move anymore. Now it's just a matter of if Keith gets out with that same urgency.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's going to be interesting here.
Comes down to this, my friends, bottom of the third. This is going to determine who is going to win your EBI overtime.
He didn't get it.
This is
Ethan's got this now.
Yeah.
His chances right off the bat. Oh, that's not bad. That's bad.
Split second saw the light at the end of the tunnel, is now just trying to continuously spin. I think he understands he's got the body triangle to contend with over on this side. He's now grabbing on the back around, seeing if he can almost get that Stone Cold Stunner grip that he can do, but instead Krellinston doubling down on pushing the pressure. Keith getting over to his side once again, maybe exposing a little bit more of the neck, and as you see, Keith's legs around.
He just got this one.
It's going to go to Ethan Krellinston. And the question is, how long are they going to let this go on for? Keith almost, for a split.
Oh, that was crazy. Great finish by Ethan.
Yeah, I mean, Ethan's so clean in his technique here. And this, even there, where it looked like Keith might be out, still spinning. They might go into that 10th planet sign, or what appears to be either Master Vic or Eddie. And I mean, at this point, we should be able to call it. Keith now in guard, which means that would effectively be done and enough for Krellinston to win. I think Keith knows it, if I can judge by the facial expression.
That was an interesting finals.
It was. I mean, here's the good news. You got the finals that you wanted. And more importantly, you kind of got the match you would expect from two very, very proficient overtime practitioners. I mean, I think Keith was holding on to hope on that last part, but it's really hard. I mean, being in there is a different beast than witnessing it. So sometimes you think your ride time might be a little bit better or grander, but on this one, Krellinston just did an excellent job there.
Good for him. I like both those guys. That was a good match. Made me happy. All right, I'm going to get some sleep. Have fun, Raph.
Sounds good. Thank you very much, Josh. Appreciate your time. You have a great rest of your night. All right, ladies and gents, we have had a fantastic night here watching the very first Jiu-Jitsu overtime, an interesting experiment. I think some of you guys were entertained by it because it meant that people couldn't just fast forward to, going through 10 minutes of competition. You could actually almost Netflix it. You could say, I skip this portion of the show, and actually getting straight to a point where we get to see a competitive match between two equally rested competitors. We had some bright spots throughout the evening, but of course your winner tonight being Ethan Krellinston, becoming your very first Jiu-Jitsu overtime winner. And it does appear that they're going to have another combat jiu-jitsu coming up very soon. So we're going to be doing some reach outs. We'll be chatting with some people throughout the week. I'm very excited to bring you some more guests. I believe we'll be back on Tuesday and we'll have more information for who's going to be on those shows. But we're going to take a day off tomorrow because we've done enough. I mean, we did yesterday with our UFC Fight Island Dose fight companion. But I'm going to tell you this right now. Thank you so much for watching along. If you get the chance and you want to buy some new gear, go to Nogi BJJ Gear. Use the promotional code Grappling Hour 15. Save 15% off of whatever you put in the carts. And like I said, go buy yourself a Corona Weight Champ rash guard because make someone prove you're not. Anyway, that's going to do it for us here over at the Grappling Hour. Thank you so much for watching along with us. My name is Rafa Esparza. It's a great day for grappling. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you back on the mat.